right. There we go. Come on, YouTube. Come on. There we go. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 377. How Japan Got Me to Love Cute. This is the Gaijin Perspective. That's the actual YouTube channel name. And
is this Goomba?
Sorry?
Is this Gaijin Goomba?
I'm pretty sure.
I think so, yeah.
Used to be known as, yes.
Okay. Well, this video came out just last week, and it's got about 9,000 views. And it's going to start off a little weird. Going to be a little left-leaning, and then he's going to go into why Japan is awesome, which is always cool. So we'll sort of gloss over that fact and not dwell on it at all. We'll just keep going with the good stuff. Anyway, want to introduce you to some people here. We've got Dollface. Haven't seen him in a while. How's it going, Dollface?
That's good.
All right.
She was pretty good. That's pretty good, yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
And Joe Crazy is making an entrance. I don't know if his mic is working, but hey, Joe, we love you. There you are. Hope everything.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe Crazy.
Yeah, it's Joe.
Joe Crazy.
Just
Wake up.
Seen in many stream chats of many streams.
Sorry about that. I had to set some stuff up.
No problem. Don't worry about it. We're just getting set up ourselves. We're a bit late today because of me passing out and waking up and then checking my phone while it's buzzing like crazy, waking me. Oh no, it's been an entire day. These people do not shut up. So it's probably honest.
Yeah, you poked the stick
triggered
into the
them,
boob envy trap. That's not gonna work.
I don't know why people are talking about tits. It's the stupidest topic to talk about. I don't care. I really
Plain envy.
I saw that video. You only talked about it for like 5 seconds, didn't you?
I don't know.
This is one aspect of a dozen. It's one attribute of a dozen that are wrong with this actress. As they all hone in on that.
Yeah.
No one even mentions that the original costume has a large button. It looks utterly silly in my eyes. And the costume in the stupid adaptation is just a zipper. If you can't even get the difference between a button and a zipper, right?
Well,
what? You're not trying.
If you would be so inclined.
Yeah, there's many things we could argue about how Faye Valentine and Cowboy Bebop should look, and it's like they didn't even try. They just said, you know what, we're going to give her just a black skirt thing. We're just going to cover her shirt up with a red jacket, which is very much like the other jacket she wears, only it's not. And
I understand that she does that. Some actress may not want to play, first off, a femme fatale in the first place, then don't apply for the fucking role.
Yeah. But
then that you don't want to play a femme fatale action scene. She's an action hero almost, if you will.
Yeah.
Who with her stunts, who wears a relatively loose jacket in which she goes braless. That means that those E-cups or double Ds in US size are going everywhere all the time, which can be very painful. Yes. But then you're not the right actress for the job, or you better get some stunt women.
I wouldn't even go that far as a problem.
Just an actress that's just like stunt tits, like you know the way you can have like. Like if you're having like a scene where someone's like playing an instrument or whatever, you can have like stunt hands so that it looks like they're able to play the instrument, and then you cut away to a different angle. So
like David Bowie with the crystal ball.
So like that, but like anytime there's a tits shot, it's a different person. You know, so there's a person they hired just for those shots.
I'm not kidding. There are scenes in movies where famous actors and actresses have ass doubles.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe they should have used one for Captain Marvel.
Even if they wanted to put padding, that's not a huge problem. It doesn't really matter what the dimensions of this woman is, provided she's fit, she's the right height. She looks she doesn't have to look on the nose, but just relatively close enough. Like, that's fine. That's not an issue. It's
The
does
other
she
character
look
is
like her?
Black
No,
Knuckles.
no, Smud. You just hate women, okay?
Yeah.
You want big boobs, tiny waist,
I
just the sex.
I
The
have
thing
the
is, no,
most.
she's
Well, yes,
there are
but
different basic body types. This woman is the wrong basic body type already. So that's why she complains, oh, you can't look like this. Yeah, no, you can't look like this because you have a different base body type. Faye
I mean, it also doesn't help that.
is slim.
Oh.
That the actress they had, she's not the slim type. She's more the barrely type. That can still be fit. That doesn't mean she's fat. That just means she's a bit more stocky. But that means she can't look like Faye. If you want to look alike, you have to choose a slim type that has big tits, and those do exist. But the Bollywood and all
Shocker.
these other Western film thingies seem to shove those women all into porn. That's the only place where they get film roles these days. You're only allowed in normal acting if you don't have tits, basically.
Hey,
You
Joe.
won't see another 7 of 9.
Oh, wait a second. Let's not throw away Miss what's her face away just because she's blonde and gorgeous. But
Ooh,
what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Joe. Hey Joe, what were you about to say?
I mean, yeah. Oh, I'm just saying that her reaction to the entire situation also didn't help much either.
No, she should have kept
I
her
mean,
mouth
she was
shut.
just being yeah.
Yeah, if she just kept her mouth shut, no problem. Absolutely zero problems. People would bitch,
Just
that'd be fine.
No, but she.
just
No,
be an
but she just
actor,
had to
not
say
an
something, though.
advertiser.
Of course.
Yeah, and she did it in a passive aggressive kind of way. Oh, I'm not 6 foot. Oh, I don't have double D's. It's like no one said that. You just don't look like her. That's all. The same with Spike. The same with Jet. They don't look the same. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The show does not look like Cowboy Bebop. It looks like a weird interpretation of it. And
I just find it hard to take seriously when anyone says like, "Whoa, just because I'm not a size 0," because it's like, you know, remember that advert that was on the London Underground that was the "Are you beach body ready?"
Oh, where the lazy
Remember that-
fat girls
that advert,
protested
right? Yeah.
the gym advertisement.
Right.
Yeah.
So the thing with that advert is that people were saying that was unrealistic, and it's like, dude, that's a literal. They hired a person. That is literally just a person that they hired and took a photo of. What do you mean? That's a literally. It's not an anime. It's not a drawing. It's a real person that they just took a picture of and put it on the fucking advert. What do you mean? It's not realistic.
Yeah, that
What do you
means-
mean?
It simply means that
It's
these
not my
people have never
realism.
seen a gym from the inside, or people who go to a gym in tight clothing have never been to a beach where there are pretty people who take some effort to not look like sacks of potatoes, and they're very lonely people because they've never seen anyone who doesn't look like them naked. Like a lot of good-looking girls who are not overweight and have big tits are wearing slightly baggy clothing, so you can't really tell their physique.
well,
If you ever see such a girl, take off her sweater, and you just see her undershirt. You go like, what the hell? And that is, I don't know if most girls, but a damn lot of them. Seriously, don't get fooled by baggy clothes. There's usually goddesses beneath that.
so check out the amateur. I can't remember the name of the YouTuber. But this black dude who does really good cosplay. They're fun cosplay skits of Cowboy Bebop. He did a really long half-hour one recently where they had a Faye, and it's like, hey, that's a pretty good Faye. It's not amazing, but dress-wise looks good. Body-wise looks fine. She's not doing backflips. She's not supposed to. That's fine. And that's all you want. Just find a better person, a better actor that looks the part, and then have wardrobe do the job, have makeup do the job. I don't know, get 1-inch heels. That's all you really need. If you really wanted to be that perfect. And I wouldn't even have to go that far. Just get her nice boots. That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
And Cyber in the chat asked me whether I've saw that Star Wars Girl's video where she found the actress wearing something that is similar to Faye's outfit. I haven't seen that. Send me
she
the DM.
actually draws
but-
over it, so like it's like so easy to make out that like the outfit could have worked.
Okay,
It's hilarious.
great.
We'll get the meme of that. I saw it on Twitter, so maybe someone could post that meme. That'd be
Yeah, it's like 10-second long.
yeah.
All right.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about that just because it was related to anime, and we're going to be talking about Japanese stuff pretty soon. So, why not?
Well,
Adaptations.
apparently, I hear that this YouTuber changed the title of his video.
It used to be about toxic masculinity.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
I noticed
Oh,
that.
That. How Japan taught me how not to be toxic masculine or something like that.
Yeah, it was different 2 days ago. So I was like, what the hell? What is this different video?
I just want to ask, what is toxic masculinity again?
Oh, don't worry.
Don't know.
It's you,
First time.
just for asking that question. It's you fucking toxic.
Trust me, they don't know
male.
either.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Fucking-
Really, Goomba fell for the bullshit too.
Male.
Oh
Yep.
man.
I'm just taking up the ass, I guess.
Alrighty. Well, let's read some super chats and get started. Here's Netcat. Thank you for the 5. Frankly, I find all this to be insulting to the wardrobe department. They can work wonders. They can make her
Oh,
look
yes.
similar to what is needed. That's a very good point, because she said in her dumb little spiel that, oh, we tried this, but it's like tissue paper. It kept breaking and getting into my curves, and I'm like, what the hell are you wearing? That it breaks. Like, what are you doing in this clothing that the wardrobe
Maybe
department?
she meant she was stuffing her bra.
I don't know. It's the
I
weirdest
think
thing.
they said a similar thing in for the Wheel of Time show about the what do you call it, the pendant that Maureen is supposed to wear, like on her forehead, like the blue
Yeah, common
gem she's
thing.
supposed to have. And they were like, oh no, we can't do this. It's
What?
impractical.
What?
See, they were saying like, oh, it like moves about and it's annoying and it's
Yeah, then learn how to. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is making me really angry because this is a common. This is a common jewelry accessoire that can be worn. Well, it's not common in our current day and age. But if you remember the princess in the Never-Ending Story, she wore a thing like that.
right. Yeah.
And this is, if this thing moves about too much, then maybe you shouldn't move your head around like some Black Hood woman who can't stop moving her head and throwing it around as if it's about to fall off her neck all the time while she's talking. How about you do something to learn some grace? Because Moiren is supposed to be a very, very, very extremely graceful woman. That means you can put a dozen books on her head and have her walk down an acre and a farmer's field, and she will not drop one of them.
You know, all you gotta
And
do
if you can walk like that, the fucking pendant does not wiggle around either.
just ask,
Learn to walk.
Just ask your Indian neighbors, and I'm sure they'll have like 30 versions of face jewelry that they'll show you how to wear.
Just ask the wardrobe department. Could you just make this a
That
little
is
bit
true.
more rigid?
Oh,
Could you just
glue
make
it
this a little
on!
bit more rigid?
Glue it on. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like,
Fucking hell.
it's
There's
just
so
like,
many tricks. Even if it looks shit, and yet because the actress is incompetent. Like, what is this? Is something I've noticed over the past 2 decades. Women in the West do not seem to know anymore how to walk. They're either stomping around or walking around with O legs, like they're riding horses all the time, but they don't look rich enough to be able to afford that. And it's just they wobble from left to right, or they stomp, and I think just having skin tight leggings with their wobbly, untrained asses looks good in any way. No, you do 20 squats twice a week, and you get an ass that anyone can even bear to look at, because you get some muscle into it.
Oh yeah.
And then you learn how to
a lot
walk
of time,
and
they
keep
don't
your,
even really
keep your
have an
hands
ass.
on a line.
They don't even really have an ass. They just have bad posture.
Yeah, that's what I
not
mean.
Like, oh well, you haven't. No, you have
Look at your-
what is it called? Lumbar lordrosis, I think it's called.
It's one of many things, and they're all slouched. They all walk like the hunchback from Notre Dame. Then what I've seen, you probably know the meme with in the US with Biden and his new advisors with that
Virgin
transgender fetishist health chief something.
Oh, okay,
The women all have straight feet, and all the men have them at an angle outward. This is in part due to physiology. between men and women. And that transgender also has the feet facing outward. The thing is, when you learn martial arts, you learn better posture, and then your feet will also be parallel, the insides of your feet. The thing is, when women don't have their feet, the insides of their feet in parallel, something is clearly wrong, and you should see a physiotherapist. Fucking hell! And then you learn how to walk. Keep your head level when you walk, which means you automatically will go a little bit down in height. You will not have stretched through knees. You will have them at a light angle, and then you will automatically wobble your hips more, which already looks much more nice, much more sexy. You will stop stomping around, and you will automatically gain some elegance. And this is the stereotypical thing that you knew from the girls' boarding school with the horrible teacher, where you had that thing where everybody had to walk around with books on their head.
Girls' boarding schools are based.
Anyway,
based.
that is.
We should send all of the females
It's also how these. Yeah, it's also how the indigenous African women balance these giant pots on their heads, because they know how to balance. The women here, they don't know any grace, because they couldn't balance anything if their lives depended on them.
Oh, yeah.
If you move like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, yes, then the forehead jewelry will bobble around all the time. When you talk like some black woman from the hood, the thing will bob around all the time, probably give you a concussion at some point.
Can you fucking imagine Marie talking like that? She's like, yo, run,
then imagine,
shit, bruh.
So imagine adding some bells to it. And if the bells make noises, you're doing it wrong.
I want to see her bobble her head while she's balancing the jar on her head. That'd be awesome.
But as we were talking about, Dan, like characters not matching.
Yeah, I could fuck around with that and not have it bobble around all the time. You're outdone by a fucking tranny.
But as we're talking about
losers.
Fucking characters not matching their designs, right? And another thing about Marin is the casting is that she's way too tall, and it's really.
Marin's supposed to be tiny.
She's supposed to be really small. It's a whole big thing that she's really
tiny. She's
short.
Her looks are described as if Asian. As
right,
Japanese.
In spite of her being short, she has this like commanding presence, and it's always in contrast to how short she is. Especially after having read because I finished New Spring fairly recently, it's like constantly like, oh, she's really short, and also the fact that people from Kyrian are just short in general, and even for people from Kyrian, she's short. Like even
they're described.
She's short.
Yeah. Because these cultures do not exist in their time of Wheel of Time. So Jordan didn't do that. Give us references to our time. But the way the people of Keian are described, and when we get to Keian itself, it all sounds very, very Edo period Japanese. Mixed up with some other culture, but that's mainly it. It sounds like Moiren is described, you can easily imagine her as a small Japanese woman.
Yeah. See, definitely, but they're all sort of short. Is definitely the thing, and short and pale is Kyrian.
Yeah, and that's the big contrast with Lan, who's this mountain of a man.
And the thing with the shaving the front of the head seems to be sort of like Civil War era, like England, like that sort of the idea of like the cutting the. Like shaving the head like that, shaving the front of the head like that.
All right. Well, one more super chat, and then we'll get started. Here's Vladimir Dragunov. How do stars die? Mostly from overdose. Oh. Always hoping for a cosmological statement, but that's good too. Okay. So we've got, how long is this thing? Let me check. 22 minutes. Okay, not too bad. See how sad this is going to be? It's probably going to be a guy going, oh, it's so beautiful, or I never knew it was like this. Okay. So, let's...
Oh, dude, you have no idea, man. It's going to be ridiculous.
Haven't watched...
Especially once it gets into the alcohol.
No, back in the day, I watched Gaijin Gunga once in a while because he was kind of wholesome-ish, while going into some cultural things. Not always correct, but good vibes. Good vibes. He gave good vibes.
Right. Okay. Well, here's hoping.
He's also somebody else who used to work for MatPat, actually.
Everyone who touched MatPat is corrupted.
Good lord.
Kind of like Channel Awesome.
Right.
The dark one, MatPat. It's like Matt.
Are we attracting all of these guys to our channel?
I mean, MatPat at least keeps his mouth shut on most things, really.
Well, yeah.
That's good. He's a Machiavellian.
Snap video.
It's a mind virus. It's a zombie virus. They just don't. It's just that the outside doesn't turn dead.
In many ways, MatPat is the Tony Blair of YouTube content creator.
Oh God. or Gordon, Tony Blair or Gordon Brown?
Tony Blair, the Machiavellianism. You know what I mean? Like the sort of like
Yeah,
we'll
that
do
would be
whatever
Brown as well.
is the Tony Blair though is more so. I feel like Gordon Brown is just following Tony Blair's lead.
Oh no, wasn't Brown before Blair?
No, Blair was before Brian. It was Blair, then it was Brian, then it was Cameron, then it was
Okay.
Was it Cameron and was it like the coalition first and then, or was it conservative and then the coalition with the Lib Dems? I can never remember. But yeah, no, Blair was before Brian. Yeah.
All right. One more from Vladimir, then we'll get started. An emo kid tried... And you retracted it while I was reading it.
Any kid tried to high-five a tree, but it left him hanging.
What was that about? Come on.
Maybe he misspelled something.
Got him.
That wasn't very nice.
Lord knows I've done that before.
I got to pay more attention to these things. Okay, anyway, let's get started.
Hey everyone, Gaijin here. Before I get started with anything, I do want to say apologies about the Snake Eyes video. Some of you may know that I was kind of really indecisive about whether or not I wanted to post that movie review, and the more I sat there and thought about it, the more I realized that it really just didn't have a whole lot to do with what it is that I want to do here on this channel specifically. I wanted Gaijin Perspective to be about me and my own perspective on Japan, my experiences in Japan, and finding ways to teach more people about Japan through that. And yeah, I guess in a very sort of loose way, I suppose that Snake Eyes video did talk a little bit about ninjas and things like that and what Japan really is, but it felt cynical, it felt kind of mean, it was kind of boring. I don't want to...
Is he apologizing over a video he made and he took it down? He's like, oh, I'm so sorry for making a video.
Oh no, I was so mean for a movie.
I'm also now I'm confused. Yeah, it sounds like he's not happy with the channel he wanted to make.
I think.
Dude, if you always seem so passionate
for the title change. I don't know.
Yeah, look at this guy's background. It's like everything's Japan. Just everything on the wall is just ninja stars.
Honestly, I would apologize for that as well.
Yeah,
he did the young gamer otaku thing about Japan. It was good. It was fun. He was always doing it happy and everything, and with a fuller beard, he also looked better than this.
Yeah, don't apologize for the thing you're passionate about. That's ridiculous. Anyway.
Angry
But no, he was so mean though, Smud.
I want to talk about how Japan changed me in a positive way, And that's what this video is all about. So, this is going to be weird to say, especially to people who are in their 20s or younger than that. But in a very real way, as a 90s kid, Japan taught me that liking things that are cute, liking things that are effeminate, liking things that are not manly is completely okay.
You needed anime for that?
Like one thing and be a specific kind of person. I actually like that. I know a lot of people don't, but I'm one of the people that do. And this is one of those reasons why. We've been talking a whole lot over the last 10, 15 years about things like toxic masculinity and gender identity that is unhealthy for people. And...
no, wonderful.
No, that's
phrase.
just you.
No, Goomba. This It's not we all aren't talking about that. A bunch of crazy Puritan communists is talking about that and trying to brainwash everyone into thinking like them. That is what's happening.
Yeah.
The whole gender identity crap has absolutely nothing to do with reality. They are anti-psychology, anti-science, anti-sexology, the actual stuff, not the made-up shit they pretend to do in that realm. The all the sociology stuff they do is also bonkers bullshit. It's all just esoteric crap. It's like someone made science out of Hitler's claims from Mein Kampf. It's just a bunch of nonsense. It's just Lysenkoism.
Just saying no to Hitler.
Don't buy into that shit.
Fucking, what do you call it? There's an anime to transgender pipeline. You know, there's oh wow, I can be a cute anime girl. I can be a cute anime girl, guys. I'm a. and
I don't know.
They make
I
their
wouldn't say
fucking
that.
profile picture fucking anime.
But there is definitely an SJWs they're ambivalent about anime because it's at the same time very sexualizing women. Oh no, big boobs. We need to censor that. But there is an SJW to transgender pipeline that does exist. That seems to be part of their goals to make everyone trans. Because that's part of what they need to do in order to break down the barriers between the sexes. Because they claim there are no biological differences, which is nonsense, of course. And therefore, they need to make everyone trans, everyone not be an archetypal man or woman, by which, in the end, people think, oh, I am not 100% manly, I am not 100% feminine, I might be trans. Umba. The logic here is that these people try to tell you that because you like cute things, you're gay.
I remember back in the 80s.
Which is the same thing that the conservatives, when they said, oh, don't you like gay cute things? Are you gay or something? It's the exact same thought.
Well, when we were watching cartoons in the 80s, we had we had Cabbage Patch Kids, we had Gem and the Holograms, we had Care Bears, we had all these cutie, colorful shows. Mm-hmm. And they were fun to watch. They were entertaining for many reasons. It didn't matter whether you were a boy or a girl, even if the shows were geared towards boys or girls. Like, no one really cared. So I didn't see the problem.
Smurfs were cute.
Smurfs were fun. There's all kinds of great shows out there for kids. And the 90s is no different. They had different kinds of shows. They were more grown up, more mature. But there was also kids shows as well. And it doesn't matter whether you're from Japan or America or Europe. I'm sure they existed there as well. So I don't see what the big deal is unless this guy is talking about some weird grade school problem he had where it's like, oh, Jeff likes My Little Pony. So?
I mean, if you liked My Little Pony at that point, then you just had bad taste, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now that you're an adult,
you have terrible taste.
It's okay.
That should be what kids believe people. It's like you have terrible taste.
And I don't want to be
get out of here. Like, oh, whoa, just because you think I'm gay. No. I just think you have terrible taste. Wow, you're saying I'm being like a girl or something? No, I'm just saying you have terrible taste in media. I'm just saying.
Okay, Vladimir is clarifying. No, I just had a second thought about the second joke. It's like, dude, come on. Just be honest with yourself. Don't
never do help measures.
Don't hide your comedy from us. It's makes me sad. I don't get to read your joke. Anyway, back to this person's trauma. Oh, I just realized we paused on the funniest looking face.
It's inner emotions.
Almost a Meshuggah type face.
It's like someone stepped on his foot and he doesn't care. He's like, ow. Anyway.
I want you guys to imagine a time that wasn't really discussed. Granted, I don't know what the situation is like for a lot of young people these days. I mean, heck, I haven't been to public education in 20 years, give or take. So I just
overrun
want to
with
point out there
nonsense.
that I'm only speaking from my perspective, as is the channel name. So if I make assumptions about things when it comes to people in public elementary, junior high school. I do apologize for that. I just wanted to throw this out here because I think this is important. So let's talk about the 90s for a hot second. It's the end of the century, and a lot of people talk about how the 90s wasn't really identified with anything big. I mean, outside of arts, things like music and things like that. I kind of agree with...
What? We had some of the best movies at the end of the 90s. Like 99 was the year of some of the biggest, most iconic movies defining cinema today. And Matrix and Independence Day are just two examples there. When I look back, I am surprised how many of the most impactful movies were made in 99 alone.
Very good.
And that's just the movies. Then I remember the 90s as the at home in our home countries as some of the most, maybe the most peaceful decade, where finally we were making head with not being racist anymore, because they don't see the character of people and not their skin color or whatever, or the shape of their eyes or their nose didn't count anymore. That's how we were raised. So we treated each other like people, humans talking with humans.
Well, but at the same time,
and that's what this generation now threw away.
A lot of this critical race theory people started in the 90s. A lot of this stuff was being written.
Yeah, it was written then.
It's based on stuff that was basically created in universities at that time. So
but it was written in the shadows.
Were being planted.
It was written in the shadows, time. But it always takes 5 to 10 years for anything from the shadow crevices of academia to make it to the public light. But the outside, the surface, that was some of the best time. It's all this stuff of the 80s and before, of treat each other as people, as individuals, had taken root. That was how we grew up. That was amazing. And in retrospect, because now the left with this whole critical race, race theory. It's just race theory, for fuck's sake. Doesn't matter what you put before it. You could say flowery race theory. It's still race theory. You can strap a nice bow with a heart on it around your race theory, and it's still fucking race theory.
It's a theory.
You can coat it in LSD, and it's still race theory.
Race theory.
Before the socialists, again, before it was the brown socialists, now it's the red socialists coming with race theory, telling us that, oh no, you have to see color, you have to see skin color, or you are racist, which is the polar opposite. You have to treat people based on their skin color, not their character. This is what they're teaching now in schools. They're pushing this in schools and preschools. They're pushing this into kindergartens, for fuck's sake. They're pushing being trans into kindergartens. We've had cases where kindergarten teachers, whatever you call them that, were trying to teach, in quotation marks, 5-year-olds how to masturbate. That's where we are right now. We are in complete insanity.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and you with your bananas stuff. This might be culturally inappropriate, maybe. So maybe I'm apologizing for that. I don't really know. If it's that direction, like, dude, don't let them destroy your passion.
There were some great animes from the 90s. So Perfect Blue.
Best.
I mean, these are really memorable things for me. That 90s was when I officially said, "Oh yeah, I know anime now. This is a thing."
Yeah, it was before all the clean, clinically clean CGI started showing up because it got cheaper, and everything was still hand drawn.
Yeah.
Oh, the backgrounds back then looked so much better, so much more alive and natural.
Forget art like fucking butt attack Punisher girl Gotham nowadays. They don't make art like that these days. Or Dengeki Oshioki Musume Gotoman Tanjo Hen, as it's known in the purists of the Punisher Girl Gotoman fandom, you know.
Okay, that's very specific. Thank you. Here's Tyler Preston. Thank you for the donation. I can certainly tell you that it was the original Powerpuff Girls who got me to love cute things. Not only was it cute, they were also action-packed. Anime didn't teach me anything new at that point. And that's fine, because everyone watches, which is local to them on their local broadcast of TV. That's what you got. Same with anime. We only got Sailor Moon, and Astro Boy was in the 80s, and after that, there was a little bit of the original Dragon Ball. That was it.
Most people, that includes most men, do like cute things. Why do you think they give a crap about cutesy dressed up women? Women wouldn't be dressing up cutesy if men wouldn't also give a shit about it. Because when the fashion sense of a woman is in dissonance with what you like about women, you are less likely to want to engage that woman. So it's a mutual thing. We are still men and women look very different physiologically, but we are still the same species, and we still kind of like the same shit.
Just about, you know.
Yeah, that's what you got to do, guys. Find a nice girl who likes all the stuff you do, and get along with her.
Murder. Have conversation. Yes.
Women also like the buff guys. Not just, but guys don't just like to be buffed. Women also like the buff guys. It's also mutual.
All right. Okay, let's go.
That to a degree. But one of the things, looking back on the 90s as a 90s kid, is just how really rooted we still were with gender roles. It's something that I actually talked to Aki about a whole lot.
Boy. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Where's my cursor? My cursor's spasming. I think my mouse is dying. No, Goomba. We were not obsessed with gender roles. You mean sex roles, not the gender's bullshit. We were teaching or taught in the 90s to be yourself. Be your authentic self, which is a very healthy message, by the way. When you are your authentic self, you don't give a shit what stereotypes or archetypes are out there, because no one is 100% the archetype. Nobody. You just be yourself, do what you enjoy, as long as it doesn't harm anyone else. Period. If that is bowling, if that is rugby, if that is knitting, if that is tracking, if that is, I don't know, synchronous pool ballet, you do you. Do your thing. If you want to be a male cheerleader, go on. Yes, someone might look at you funny, but that will always be the case.
All right.
No one's obsessed. The vast majority of people in the Western world are not obsessed with gender roles. That's bullshit.
Twitter. Just Twitter, guys, and what's left of Tumblr.
Yeah.
All right. Someone's playing music in the background. Is that you, Wisp?
No.
Who is that?
It's Joe.
That's Joe.
It's Joe.
Oh shit! Sorry about that.
It's like,
there's some play music in the background. It will be very strange.
There was music. I didn't.
If you hear music from me in the background, it will be very strange folk metal, some goth shit, or Sabaton.
Sabaton.
Or Copy Klani or something like that.
All right. Okay. Just wondering what was going on there. Thank you.
Sorry, because there's some spring cleaning going on in the background, and they decided to turn on the stereo.
Oh yeah, it's fair.
Spring cleaning.
Yeah.
For the
It's
record,
autumn.
the opinions of Wisp does not represent the entire Smudcast, and personally, I think bowling is incredibly subversive, and you should not do it on pain of death. Otherwise,
Just call it that. Honestly, they just want to clean.
Otherwise, just listen to Sabaton when you're sleeping.
yeah, don't. Bowling is of the devil, frankly, and also it's gay. Because you're
Yeah.
Plays The Last
you
Stand
have
by
to-
Sabaton.
You will have to duke that out with the dude. I personally don't care. I think it's just weird.
The dude?
The dude.
You have to do that thing with where you have the ball and you have the.
You
Like
put
the
your fingers
tile.
into the ball in this
No,
very
like
strange
you know the thing
position.
where you put the ball like in the tile and you like you know what I'm talking about? The thing where you get the bowling ball and you put it in the tile.
Yeah, I've seen the Big Lebowski. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That thing. Yeah, do that. Don't actually play the game. Just do that.
Just rub the balls.
They should have competitions just for that.
Okay. Oh,
You can get the shiniest balls in the
was
shortest
the-
amount of time.
strangest
I
aside.
looked up bowling ball science, and this is for the professional bowling balls that cost several $100 and over $1,000. It's just insane what they put inside these things so that they do very specific curve maneuvers and that's
Oh
isn't
yeah,
that
it's fucking
cheating?
crazy. Like the fucking making of like how it's made of fucking bowling balls is insane. It's like wow.
Can't you
How much
just
effort?
take a ball and throw it?
Not if you're the Jesus.
Some people are really bad at it though. Like I don't know how that like for some reason there's so many videos of people like not even on purpose just throwing it into the ceiling and it's just like
How?
how does this keep
These things are
happening?
heavy. I mean, there's the German primal version of bowling is called Kegeln. That is just 3 times 3 pins, and a very long but very narrow, much narrower than the bowling lane. And there's usually it's a small pub
Wait,
that has just 2 lanes and then some place to sit and drink beer, and
Are you-
that's the German version
are
of
you,
that.
you
And
telling me
the balls are smaller, but they don't have holes, so we just have solid wooden balls.
you're telling me there's a German version of bowling which has 9 pins and
It's
is
the original version of bowling.
and is German and it's still around.
Yes,
Okay.
and it looks very crude. It looks like from medieval times.
Because we do have 2 kinds of bowling
And
in
it's-
North America. There's the 10 pin and there's the 5 pin.
And it's very tiny. It's like very tiny pubs.
Yeah, the 5 pin has small balls
That-
too. I don't know about
No, it's in a bar. It's in a bar.
Yeah, that's what's throwing me off. You saying it's longer and less wide, right?
Yeah.
That's a very specific kind of bar. Like it's a very long bar.
It's usually an additional part of it. Like these things were built like 100 or 200 years ago.
You learn
No,
something
when
new
your
every day.
country, when your weird country was founded, we already had the bowling basic form.
All right, here is Roan Harushan. Thank you for the $5 donation. Local weeb reporting for duty, big boss. All righty, thank you, Roan. We are going to get into the rest of the video soon after we stop talking about German bowling. So, where were we? I can't remember. Something about cute things being okay. Anyway, 3 minutes in. Let's go.
Kind of like big breadth of accepting things like toxic masculinity and very hard gender roles. You're supposed to do this because it's always been the way that it's been. Like, I think one of the biggest examples of this is gender-based marketing. That was a huge thing in the 90s, and I would assume prior to that. The thing that always kind of bothered me looking back on is that everything was blue for boys, pink for girls. Again, I'm a little disconnected on how much prevalence this still has, but I remember back growing up, that was a huge thing. I think when it comes to marketing, I really don't think it was malicious.
That's not gender-based marketing.
No, things should be. There's nothing wrong with marketing things to boys or girls and going, well, some people don't fit into that fucking thing, and some boys don't want to do. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
And
Market
Goomba,
fucking
maybe
Hot
before
Wheels
you
to boys.
complain.
Market
And
fucking Transformers to boys. Fuck you.
Yeah,
By the Hot
there's always
Wheels.
going to be
Goomba,
exceptions
um,
to that rule.
doing this based that way, specific for the sexes, does not exclude the other sex. A tomboy will still be interested in boys' toys. You understand that? And we have the science on that. The boys go for the trucks.
Yeah.
The girls go for the dolls.
The marketers...
Almost all of them. There are exceptions, and when you have an exception, just let the kid play with whatever it wants.
The marketers...
Because then the kid will be happy.
The marketers would love to get as much money as possible. And if they learned that they could sell this to twice their demographic, they would. Whatever it is. They don't care. They're there to make money. So there is no... specifically a gender-based marketing scheme. It's just like, oh, this is our demographic. That's who we sell to. That's what we're going to do. What do they like? That's what we make advertisement about. That's it. That's all they do.
It's like,
Yeah,
you mustn't like
you're going to get
complaining.
overlap regardless
Wow.
of what you sell.
Why is
Sorry
Vogue
about that.
marketing to women? Why is Vogue marketing to? Why aren't they marketing to me? Why aren't they marketing to me? Why are they marketing Vogue magazine to women? What about me? I'm not being marketed to. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me.
I know, what
Don't
big
gay
Oh
men
my
also
gosh,
like to read Vogue or
childish.
some bullshit?
Men like
But it's
makeup
like
too, you
so-
know.
Oh my gosh, it's so fucking childish. It's like they're not marketing to me at this very moment.
Yeah, I require...
And you can't
I
just,
want my specific gay man magazine.
I would
that
like to
200
have
people in the country will buy.
a variety of bath salt
And I want it of the
options
same quality as the $1 million product.
with built-in coupons for ointments and various facial creams. I would like that as well. Maybe some body soap would be good too. Maybe some shampoo and conditioner in one. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, Goomba, did you know that men and women require different hair shampoo? Because if we use the same of these super specific stuffs with all their funny chemicals and fruit extracts and whatever else is in them, if women use men shampoo for their hair, it can happen that their hair just breaks off. Because their hair is differently structured on a molecular level. So all the stuffs, all the chemicals have different effects on it. It is relevant to market towards the sexes, but that has nothing, and that doesn't necessarily have something to do with your magical gender roles. That sometimes just has something to do with physiology. Male and female skin is also different. So I can be as much as it doesn't matter how big this forest is. It doesn't matter how much I want to be a real woman. Doesn't fucking matter. My hair will always be male hair, and I will have to.
Oh, just you wait,
to
Wiz. He's going to
deal
get into
with
the razors in a bit.
Oh,
Oh,
I
no.
will- Dude, I will always need the male shampoo for my hair. I can use other stuff after that, but the basic stuff needs to be the male shampoo. And yeah, if he's getting into the razors, for fuck's sake, what are women cutting? Like this flimsy leg hair that is at best on the level of eyebrows, or rather eyelashes. No, or not even. Most of that is not even. I mean, I've one confused little follicle on my pinky finger that thinks, yeah, it needs to grow an eyelash out of it. I just pull that out every half year. Women's body hair is laughable. That's why why you use completely different stuff. Also, the skin is much smoother and much more easy to damage. So you need a wider surface area on the razor. You need different blades. You need different additional oils or whatever you use in order to make it smooth. While men with their facial hair have to cut through have to cut through copper wire. Beard hair, the stuff of which you have at least some left, that's the equivalent to copper wire. You have to cut through that. Compare that to this flimsy fuzz that you have on your arms, or that a woman has on her arms, much rather. This is not the same fucking stuff.
Shaving 101.
Mm-hmm.
all right. Let's go.
I think going with the flow of what was acceptable for the time, and everyone just kind of accepted it. But at that same time, there
Because
was
it's
a
normal.
whole lot of discontent
Natural.
amongst a lot of people my age. I remember Aki specifically, she always tells me stories about how she really, really, really wanted to, like, play with G.I. Joe figures and stuff. And I was a G.I. Joe kid growing up. Like, I had this little, if I could find a picture of it, I'll put it up here, but I had this freaking missile tank thing that you lifted up and this missile rack came out. I love G.I. Joe. That's the point I'm getting at here. And G.I. Joe was definitely straight up branded as a boys thing. And then, you know, Barbie, it's all pink, it's all for girls.
So where do you want to go with this? Are you trying to tell us that she was forbidden to play with the G.I. Joe toys? Or she didn't get any? What was the point? If that was the case, then maybe she had shitty parents. Yes. Or you could have. Did you let her play with your G.I. Joe toys?
You don't see it with, like, you see, like, where Goomba grew up, like, Gaijin, is, like, state legislated toys. So, like, if they found out that, like, the girl was playing with boys' toys, then, like, that was the end of the family. They would be playing the camp.
The Hasbro secret police will be busting down their door.
That's actually what I was looking for, because she was hiding in the attic playing with fucking G.I. Joe, and they were just
not even playing with the toys, just seeing the person in the wrong toy aisle.
They were just like, is any girls playing with G.I. Joe in here?
A bunch of Cobra Grunts are just right there, just waiting for them.
Wisp, you need to say it in German.
You know what the irony is here? He's complaining that our society was telling people, kids, what they are allowed to play and what not, which is more or less bullshit. At least in the 90s, and he is adopting this SJW brainwashing bullshit, which is socialist communist bullshit. The irony about that is that when you have a socialist communist government, they will tell you exactly how you have to live your life to every minutia. They will tell you what you have to learn in school. They will tell you what you have to work as. They will tell you what job to take, whether you want it or not, and how long you have to work, and how long you are allowed to see your kids, and which is the least amount possible. And they will also tell your kids with what to play. Like, we're seeing it right now, where this stuff that you now bring up here, they're now forcing children, the boys, to play with the girl toys, the classic, and the girls to force them to play with the boy toys. Because they believe in the same fucking stereotypes after all. They just want to break the children into their magical mold. And then you have all of these parents that jump onto this, we are going to parent our kids in a gender-neutral fashion. And then a couple months after they're newborn, they just write on Twitter and Reddit about, we really try to raise our kid gender neutral, but our boy is always wants to play with the technical toys, and our girl always wants to wear a dress. We just don't know what to do. What did we do wrong? And our second kid is the same. But who influenced them? Their fucking genes did.
And then there's the bronies.
I mean, yeah, but for all we know, the reason they didn't get her that stuff is probably because they were strict for cash at the moment or something. That could be the possibility too.
Well,
I mean, he's whining about
children are extremely fickle.
Toy that he used to play with as a kid. It's like when you're an adult, it's like you can play with all the toys you want. Who gives a shit? I don't know.
Well, with the bronies, it wasn't even the toys; it was just the show. Which I can't because at least early on that show was legitimately written well. I will fully admit.
You could say it was written so well that it gave them something that they didn't have in the cartoons of their childhoods. Maybe it filled a gap in them.
Or maybe they did have that quality in their childhood and they wanted it back after years of crap.
That could also be the case.
Well, that is the case because it's like that show was written by a lot of people that did work on a lot of the better cartoons of the 90s.
And it could just be that some people just enjoy cartoons and they like quality cartoons as opposed to other cartoons or certain styles of animation or certain actors in certain shows. There's all kinds of reasons to like things that are not expected of you to enjoy, and yet you do. So there's nothing wrong with liking these things.
No, I'm not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, in that case, it was the fact that it was a pretty damn good show when it came out. And then it's like, yeah, it's like this kind of like gender. I don't want to say defiance, because it's not that. It's just they just found a really good show to watch.
I'm laughing at Titanic Tuna in the chat wrote, "The boys don't want to play with Barbie. Give them a Yuki Yuna or Sailor Mercury figure. I'm sure they'll be excited."
Okay.
Barbie's fashion sense is horrible, if you ask me.
Wow.
It's like it's stuck in the 50s, and it's just
Like
disgusting.
that's anything new.
All right. Here's Vladimir Dragunov. Thank you. Oh, he's in donation mode. Here we go. What do you call an anorexic woman with a yeast infection? Ugh.
Ooh.
Quarter pounder with cheese.
Ooh. God.
So a Royale with cheese.
Ew.
Okay. It's. I mean, I wanted to hear them, so I guess I asked for
That's
that.
definitely. I mean,
At
that's definitely.
least it was through Streamlabs?
Yeah.
Question mark.
At least.
So it was worth it, I guess.
At least in.
I mean, I'm pretty sure YouTube wouldn't let that go through if he did.
I don't know. YouTube likes the money too.
I mean, fair.
Yeah, they'd be like, "What? $5? Well, I guess we could take some of that." Yeah.
Was it $5? I thought it was $1.
The $5 was on YouTube. They made a new one, which was $1 donation to Streamlabs. So anyway,
Okay.
4 minutes in.
I wonder if I should say I hate women and just give money to YouTube while I say it. See if they take it.
That's misogynist by definition.
Goomba, you should know best that Western dolls are just shit. And the Japanese figured out how to do it so well that everyone wants to have them.
Except for Todd McFarlane toys. Those things are crazy high. The articulation on those things are ridiculous.
It's like, yeah, what was this? Yeah, McFarlane Toys, in my opinion, definitely has made some of the best Star Trek toys out there, if not the best.
They do.
Exception
It's like-
supply.
My God, the detail.
They do really good Metal Gear stuff as well. And
Oh yeah, it's like I remember there is a cameo by McFarlane Toys in MGS2 during the tanker. No, not the tanker. The main section with Raiden.
Really? Huh.
Yep, there's like some boxes stacked up with the McFarlane Toys logo, because it was even back then they were working together.
Oh, cool. Okay. Let's go.
Little Pony. It's all pastels. It's all for girls, and we now know things are going with those products these days. How much more acceptable they are now with.
Goomba, have you seen the old My Little Pony cartoons?
Did the image come to anyone else's head when he said, "Oh, we all know"? There's a particular image, and am I the only one thinking of that image? Like, I can't be the only one thinking of the image. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Like,
what
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Goomba,
This is the point I'm trying.
watch
This is
the
the point I'm trying
fucking old generations
oh god,
of ponies.
Yeah, the old shit sucked dick ass
that,
through
you-
a straw.
you the
My
fucking
God,
movie.
it's
movie
icons
that
and it's written like ass.
like
Yes.
the movie that came out where it's like the blonde girl or whatever. Oh, terrible.
That's the point I'm trying to make. It's like the then current generation G4. It really definitely had the show as a major push, especially with the bump in quality.
I think like the whole point of the toy of My Little Pony is literally just that girls like playing with hair. That's literally it. That's like the entire thing is that girls just like.
The whole point is just like play as pony dolls, but as if they were like regular dolls, like Barbie.
It's like what are girls like? Horses
girls
and
like
hair.
horses, and they have hair that they can brush. All win.
Yeah.
Instant win.
If you want to complain about the toys of My Little Pony now, you clearly do not know how they started.
Because I think even if there was no stigma against things being feminine, boys would not be interested in a thing where the entire point is, oh, you get to brush the hair. And like most boys, would just look at you like, where's the game? What's the point?
Exactly. That's why Hasbro went out of the way to pioneer the modern action figure. That was the whole point of that invention.
I feel like Transformers is like the peak of like what makes a toy that boys want to play with. Like, because it's got all these moving parts and stuff, but it's also an action figure. You know what I mean?
It's technical stuff. If you want a transformer that appeals to both sexes, maybe add a horse head with hair on it. That you can brush or something.
There has to have been a My Little Pony transformer.
Aren't there Transformers that transform into animals?
Yeah, that's a crossover we need to see.
Don't they have hair already? I mean, I guess
we need the My Little Transformers.
I know. Transformer Polly Pocket crossover.
Oh.
I can only see the dollar signs.
Write that down.
Why did Hasbro never do that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Because
Hasbro tried to. They tried to get a boy version of Polly Pocket that they based on doing gross stuff like squeezing out slime and stuff like that.
There like a competitor to Transformers that was like small, like
robots, and that failed massively.
Might have had one of these and was very frustrated with it.
No, it's GoBots. It's GoBots. It came out roughly. I think it came out a bit sooner than Transformers, but Transformers still won out. And then eventually Hasbro absorbed GoBots into Transformers anyway.
Oh no, that's something else.
But yeah, it's like I am sure that My Little Pony Transformers crossover could work because there is literally an entire portion of the Transformers universe that is. And that they transform into animals. There's literally in one series an entire planet of animal transformers.
I remember. The only thing I had was a little police car that could transform into an ambulance. It had nothing to do with Transformers.
I mean, for me, it's like I have an Optimus Prime toy from four different series in a row, so that tells you how much I'm invested.
Digimon toys. They used to have Digimon toys that you could transform into like the different, like Digivolutions.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the Transformers would kick the asses of any Digimon that came at them.
Bro, have you seen fucking Digimon, bro? Have you fucking
Eldritch God abominations with refrigerators in them?
I fucking love Digimon. Digimon is so fucking good because like Pokemon is like, well, just have a sort of naturalistic like evolution. Digimon is like fucking go give it 5 fucking guns, a big fucking cannon, and fucking chest, a big fuck off laser in its eye, a fucking tank, not even connected in any good way. It's just a tank. It's literally just a tank.
But then there's Transformers series that have like big kaiju-sized robots. Half of them comprised mostly of Optimus Prime.
Bro, I'm pretty sure they're like literally like universe level like size Digimon. Like they're so like literally it gets ridiculous.
I think both franchises go up to planet size because I know in Transformers there's Unicron and Primus.
Yes.
There are some ridiculous Digimon.
And they're brothers, by the way, for those who didn't know.
Right.
Yes.
There's the one that's literally the physical embodiment of the recycle bin.
I mean, Primus is literally fun fact, Primus is literally the planet Cybertron itself, so...
All right, well, here's...
So you can imagine.
Here's Vladimir again, and then Rotarushin for the donations and Super Chats. If I remember correctly, dudes, watching G4 My Little Pony was started as a joke by 4chan. G4.
Generation 4 of My Little Pony.
Logic, basically, right?
Okay.
Oh yeah, the fan base started off in 4chan, from what I remember.
Really?
Yeah, that was funny.
It
was ironically, ironically.
Right? Yeah. Ironically. Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch it. Ironically, guys.
I'm honest. I'm
so
waiting
lame, guys.
for
Check it out. I'm watching this.
I'm just waiting for a completely fan-made Peepo cartoon on top tier level over which the inventor of Pepe has absolutely no control. And that cartoon will be bombastic and amazing and funny and emotional and heart-wrenching and just bloody amazing in every respect. This bunch of people goes doing stuff.
All right. Here's Roan Hirushin for the 5. Thank you. Imagine that. A show with actually good writing attracting an audience regardless of the intended gender. Ain't that odd? Yeah.
I know, who would have thunk?
Yeah, and I have no idea what this Barbie 3D CGI bullshit is, but I doubt that is watched by both sexes.
Well, I think Dollface knows, right?
Oh yeah, I
There's,
remember.
there's literally
It's like
I mean, there's
30
literally
it,
one-
30 it movies. I believe.
close to that, and there's literally one of those.
All of them, right?
There's one of these. There's literally one of these shorts that straight up addresses racism, and I'm just like, you're fiction.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Like, you just
I remember that.
there.
Where
right.
Barbie brings in one of her friends who got stopped by a police officer at the fucking
Not
beach.
only that, they didn't even show any of it either. So
What the fuck, dude?
That's
And the
another one
police
of these
officer?
things. Like this all this preaching. That's just PSAs. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to watch that, listen to
think
that, take
girls
that
want
seriously. When you want to address these topics, you do it as the plot of the episode. You play it out. But, and that's the thing with the SJWs, they can't play these things out because it makes for horrible plots in which they always look like the horrible people. So they the only thing they can do is preach through PSAs.
All right. Here's one more donation. We'll get back to the video. Here's Tall Person. Thank you for the 2. If you are talking
Tall
Digimon,
person.
Google image search Gundramon. Okay.
which I'm doing right now.
Gundramon.
Yes, if you can find it first, go ahead and put it in our VC chat,
All right.
just so you guys can see this abomination.
Apparently, there was an anti-communist MLP episode. Wow.
Yes, it was pretty good. It was with Starlight Glimmer
It
as
was-
the villain for 2 episodes, and
It
after
was
that
a-
she
it was
joined
a- it was
she
a-
joined the
it
good
was a
guys.
The season 5 premiere, for the record.
Oh yeah, it was that was really good. That was actually good.
Yeah, there's
Because it
Gundramon.
stripped, it was a village in which all the ponies were stripped of their cutie marks, which resemble their special skill that they have.
Yeah,
Meaning they were all stripped of their individuality.
and they
and-
were, it was all they all had
No.
the equal sign. The equal sign. That's
Yeah.
what
No,
sealed
my
the deal.
tramp stamp. No.
Which, by the way, the SJWs love to use the equal sign to refer to communism.
Exactly.
Why?
Because everybody has to be equal under communism. And that is by law. You are equal, defined by law. There are no differences between men and women on any level by law.
And then
I mean, some are more
Reality is
equal than others.
outlawed.
and then comes My Little Pony Friendship's Magic for the season 5 premiere, gives communism the big fuck you.
That is probably the worst symbol to have for people to make graffiti over, because all you're doing is making an equal sign to an equation. You can do all kinds of fun stuff with that. Boy.
So,
Jeez.
also, before we move on, go ahead and, for those who haven't seen Gundramon,
I mean-
we have it right here in the. Let me just actually repost that in the actual server, just to be
We
sure.
will, yeah.
I mean, communists don't really understand math. Let's be real.
No,
Or
they do. They do. They just disagree with it.
What even is maths? What is this Western imperialist
It's
concept
capitalist
of
oppression.
Look,
math?
Okay.
so communists do understand math. They do understand statistics. Well, the more intelligent ones do understand statistics. However, the reality in any communist country is that because the state has to micromanage absolutely every aspect of absolutely everything, they need data of everything all the time. And since when you fail your quota, you will get into trouble, you just report that, yeah, you got the quota. And then your superior who got the data from you will say, because the quota isn't good enough, because his superior has to be pleased as well, he increases that by some more. And that happens a couple times, and then while in actuality the farms are lacking pigs overall, the top tier level will know that we have an overabundance of pigs that we can export now. And nothing matches. And that's a great talk by what's his name? Yuri Maltsev. Zaitsev was the famous sniper, and Yuri Maltsev was an economist who served under Yeltsin and what was the other guy? It's late.
Gorbachev.
Yeah, Gorbachev. He served under both, and later defected, and then became a professor for economy, which is kind of funny in a way. He also understands the joke. There are lectures by him or talks that he gives with his wonderful accent. Look him up, Yuri Maltsev, and he talks out of the how do you say that? Out of the sewing kit about the wonders of Soviet politics and government and economy, and it is hilarious. Definitely look him up. He's wonderfully funny man, and very fatalistic. And he will explain to you exactly how statistics under communism works and where you get the numbers from. He had an anecdote from, I think he visited Ukraine or Chechnya, or one of these things, and asked his colleague in that country, where do you get the numbers from? And his colleague said, well, you just lean back in your chair and you look at the ceiling and then the numbers appear and you write them down. And Yuri looked at the ceiling and said, I can't see any numbers. What are you talking about? There are no numbers on the ceiling. And then his colleague opened a drawer, pulled out a bottle of vodka and said, drink some more, then the numbers will come. And that's how communist government works. And statistics and math, it's just you make up the shit so that your superiors are pleased. Tell me what economy can function like this.
All right, here's Ron Harushin chiming in again. Thank you. Gundramon, the Digimon equivalent of Gundam Heavy Arms. Texas would love them. If you guys have not seen a photo, we'll probably post it later in the memes when we get to the end of the video.
I did. I already did.
All right. We'll get there later.
That's my meme for the stream.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll get to that later. All right. Let's continue.
Yes.
Different kinds of people, but my point is that when I was growing up, the idea of what was acceptable for boys to like and girls to like was still very much a thing. I don't think we talk about it that much, but it really still was a huge thing. And for me personally, it's something that had always bothered me growing up. It's something that I never talked about because, again, we're talking about, what is expected of boys, and these are things that I have never been able to really consider up until more recent times when I no longer have to care what dumb people think. So I can just go out there and talk about these things. But it's like, one of the things that always hit me the hardest was the definition for us as 90s kids growing up about what it is that made you a man or a boy or something along those lines.
I never got any of that.
Bless my parents. Mom, Dad, if you are watching this, I want you to understand y'all never, ever push me in one direction or another. The thing is that
maybe you should have done some sports.
And my neighbor's parents were super bad
YouTube
with
videos
this.
is how you communicate with your parents.
I remember my next door neighbor's stepdad, I think? He would point out that I was fat and out of shape and lacking muscle.
You still are.
Masculine. And that kind of
I mean, he ain't wrong, dude.
First of all, second of all, why are you caring what they think of you?
Yeah, it's another side. Goomba.
Yeah, who cares what your neighbor thinks?
Goomba.
I mean, that's what you are, right?
And obese and out of shape. That is neither manly nor feminine. It is neither of that. It's just you being out of shape. And the question is, why were you? Why were you? Did your parents overfeed you? Because even kids that do not exercise don't get fat when their parents don't overfeed them.
Maybe the fridge was unlocked, and so he was able to just open the door and grab whatever was in there. I don't know.
Does he have those parents that just lock him with a fucking chain and everything?
Yeah, they forgot to lock it one night.
Got the chain.
No,
but you shouldn't get your psychological advice from socialists. If you need to spill out your family distress, on the internet like this, like all the SJW, not all, but many of the SJWs do. You need a good therapist. There are lots of bad therapists out there, but you need a good therapist who's ideologically neutral, for one, and not get your ideas from these idiots. My God.
Or at the very least,
Well, I don't know. I mean,
not listen to the word police. That's one thing I'd like to have from these folks. They can believe in these concepts, but when they start telling, "Oh, you shouldn't be calling this person this or that," it's like, I don't want to. That they're asking me to. I don't.
It's like unless it's something that is a legitimate concern, otherwise you shouldn't give a fuck.
To quote School of Rock, it's like you're fat and you have body odor. That's what I have to say here.
I mean,
is it necessarily a lie? No, it's the truth. It's just that's who you are. And like either don't care or do something about it.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I do complain when people call other people things that they're objectively not, outside of jokes and sarcasm.
Yeah.
That's it.
Huzzah! All right, let's go.
The boys' activities of like Boy Scouts and sports and camping and things like.
There's nothing. Okay, we have segregation between the Boy Scouts and the Girl Guides.
And the Girl Scouts.
Girl Scouts, Beavers, Cubs, Ventures. There's reasons why we have these. You do not want to have...
Girls don't go camping in your country?
Yeah.
What?
You do not want mixed gender people camping together. That's not a good combination.
No, you know what we do in Germany when we go camping? It's a family thing. The family goes camping together.
Oh, we just call that living in Canada.
A bit cold.
It's always cold.
Yeah, but and with sports, girls,
Don't worry, they have a lot of
statistically,
time.
the majority of girls when they do sports, they prefer different sports from the boys. There's some overlap, but generally, there are sports that girls like more than boys, and boys like more than girls. They don't all need to do baseball. What you want, Gaijin, Goomba, what you want to have, what you're between the lines aiming at here, is that all of these activities need enforced parity of 50-50 boys and girls. That's where this is leading to in the end. Instead of, if the boy doesn't want to play baseball, maybe he wants to play basketball. Maybe he wants to play mini golf, for fuck's sake. Doesn't matter. At least he's out in the air and doing something. Same with the girls.
I think that he would have benefited from some of these experiences, and that having parents that didn't sort of push him to do anything like this maybe is not a good thing, and maybe it is actually a good thing because children will not, a lot of the time will not choose to do things that would actually be good for them. They won't seek them out. And sometimes it is a good thing for the parents to go, I think you should do this, even though you wouldn't choose to do it. I think you should do it. And that a lot of the time that is actually a good thing. And it is actually good that you did something that you wouldn't otherwise have chosen to do. And that's part of
go out of your comfort zone and build character.
So this attitude of like, no, you can't ever, push your child to do anything and just, whatever they want to do, or just don't, you gotta actually, children are kind of fucking retarded. They're kind of fucking stupid, and they will just do whatever is the most comfortable and easy and path of least resistance.
And around?
Sometimes you gotta tell them and just be like, no, you gotta go to like this thing. You gotta play some sports. You gotta go outside. You gotta go fucking camping or something.
I'd say immature.
And sometimes, depending on where you live, you may only have 3 options, and the one that the kid really likes isn't available.
Like even like genius prodigy children are like really fucking stupid. Like there's ways that kids are stupid that is just universal, and even the prodigies
they don't know
are
anything.
not smart.
Being a genius doesn't help you if you don't don't know anything where you could go, where you could apply your genius.
Like prodigies are like,
and it just withers away.
Copying, like prodigy. So say in terms of like even like Mozart, right? He didn't reinvent the fucking wheel when he was doing all of his like music. He was just really good at taking what was already done and being really good at doing that. He wasn't it wasn't like revolutionary shit. He was just really good at doing existing things, basically. You know, he was playing the same skills, the same kind of time signatures and everything, but he was just very proficient at, and that's the same thing with what do you call it? There's a guitar player girl on YouTube, and I think she was like 10 years old or whatever, and she's like really good at playing all these like shred guitar stuff, right? But it is just copying, it is just mimicking, and she's really good at it. But it's like, in terms of being smart or being creative, in terms of like big C, like inventing things, like you see a lot of children being prodigies, but you don't see them inventing like revolutionary things and inventing something new. You just see them being really good at an existing thing, and
they're just, you could just sum it up as they're learning faster, way faster.
They're getting to their potential faster, but their actual potential isn't necessarily that much higher. They just get to it.
It's rather that usually the gifted kids, if you want to call them that, they have due to their genius level or whatever you want to call it, they have a head start in anything. Like the basics, they pick up super fast, and after that, it's training and learning and practicing like everybody else. Their maximum capacity may also be higher, but they will never reach that if they never ever practice. This is why a non-genius that is constantly working hard at a skill will surpass a genius that neglects a skill that the genius has affinity to. Because geniuses aren't good at everything. They have specialties. This is why when you have your genius kid, like look what it's actually good at.
Yeah, like normally it is the kid will be the one that pushes for more and more lessons and stuff in a thing that they're good at. They'll be like, I'm good at this thing, and because I'm good at this thing, they will be motivated to get more and more better at it, more and more like lessons or whatever, if it's like piano or guitar or something.
Yeah.
It's not the parents pushing them. It's not the parents being like, you've got to be, it is their choice. But going back to the point, which is basically that just because they're good at stuff, or just because they're quote-unquote geniuses or prodigies, they're still kids, and kids are still dumb in certain ways.
And personally, and I may be wrong on this, but I would say never, ever use the special skill of your gifted kid as a hostage, as a ransom. Like, you can only go back to your special interest super thing that you are the divine being on that makes you super happy, and gatekeep that because I want you to do the thing that you hate, because then you poison the well of that amazing thing. And the last thing you want to do with a gifted kid is create a mental block about the thing the kid's actually good at. Do other things. You can do other things like you can do with any other kid as well. But oh god.
Well, let's get back to segregation of boys and girls. I think that's a nice little aside.
Yeah. Oh, right. I wanted to say, the girls here have drifted a lot to liking what is it called? Hockey on rollerblades. It's what a lot of girls in Germany do now.
Oh, really?
Street hockey. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's not that different from ice hockey, is it?
Well, in Canada, we call street hockey a guy with a tennis ball and some sticks. So.
Okay.
You had rollerblades? Holy crap!
But, alternatively, Goomba, you're so Japanese affine. Why don't you suggest martial arts classes in school? Because those you can give to everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're actually character forming, and they teach both sexes of where the physical limits are. Like, don't punch beyond this point, because then you do some serious hurt. Some serious harm.
Taekwondo.
This is very important for boys. This is very important to learn. This is why boys rough and tumble play like all other animals do, because they're figuring out how far can I go before play turns into serious harm. And this is personally why I would like girls to have mandatory martial arts classes in school as well, because they have to learn that as well. Otherwise, they turn into these horrible teachers who only go around with, oh no, the boy poked the other boy on the arm with his index finger. You need to stop the violence right now, because he's unable to discern between play and actual violence.
Smacked them both in the arm with a ruler.
It's just fuck it. No, learn to fight, because then you know what actual violence is.
All right, let's go.
That I hated all these things. I just didn't like them. But to not do those things as a boy, that made you not masculine. To not enjoy those.
Okay, you know what? Everyone should be in the. I honestly think everyone should go out into the wilderness for however long, like a month, 2 months, not by yourself, of course, but
I love that this is taking on.
Yeah, it's just that everyone should go and camp. Everyone should learn some survival basic stuff. Everyone should fish. Everyone should do a little bit of this, not for the rest of your life, but just appreciate it, even if you don't
know how to do this, and when the apocalypse comes, you'll know how to do this.
Well, okay, I mean...
Yeah, when
Against zombies,
happens,
I don't think it will happen.
that's like when Fallout happens, you'll know what to do.
Yeah, I'm just saying...
will you? Okay.
You will
Do you
respect...
want to be in the post-apocalypse?
Ugh.
Somehow you survive that, and somehow the rivers are fine. Do you want to be in the post-apocalypse knowing how a fishing pole works, or not knowing how a fishing pole
I
works?
think that's important as a
Not
skill.
I'm sorry.
But the
I'd rather
point
just
is...
kill everybody.
The point is to respect the things that
Just like
civilization and your family, your community have used as the years go by, and you go, wait a second, I survived in a camping kit and water from the lake by myself. Yeah, and here's all these amenities. Here's all these wonderful inventions that society has brought us. It brings people down to earth a lot faster than you think. So,
Oh yeah.
Same with getting.
That's why I'm happy that
It's
my
also a
insane
fast way to
idea
just
is
meet
catching
people,
on
too.
with more and more
Simple
people.
as that.
It's great.
Yeah.
I have an adaptation of that for the feminists.
What? No, it's fine.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Make them do their laundry,
Uh-oh.
the entire laundry that they usually do in one washing machine
In the river.
like 200 years ago
Oh, that's interesting.
at the river with a scrub board.
Alternatively, beat women.
With the scrub
Just do your entire laundry the old-fashioned way by hand. They
Yeah.
will
What you do-
immediately stop complaining
don't-
about modern household chores.
You don't take the women's clothes off. You just clean her with the clothes on with the scrub bar.
Ah, there you go. Now you're thinking.
You know, my grandma we still had in the cellar, we had a we call it washing kitchen, and one time because I helped her dry the stuff, she was cooking the what do you call it, the window things, the big window things,
The
called
glass.
gardine. No, the fabrics you have in front of the windows that make it look nice.
Drapes?
Glass, more glass.
Drapes.
Yeah, drapes, like lots of drapes, all the white drapes.
Cooking the
And she
glass.
cooked them. She cooked them in a giant. It was like any witch would be jealous of how big this fucking thing was. I have no idea how she moved that giant pot, and there was a fire beneath that. This thing was still heat. This was heated by fire. She was, and she moved the drapes inside, or maybe it was bed sheets. I don't know. Just lots of white fabric, and she had a giant paddle with which she moved the fabric into cooking water. Like, whoa, that was work, and she was already going to her 70s, I think. She was at least in her 60s.
Dang.
Yeah, man. That's how you did that. that's how you do washing.
All right. Okay. Almost 6 minutes in. Doing okay.
Yeah.
Particular I really, really hate it. I understand that there are factors of sports that, you know, you learn to depend on each other, you learn teamwork, you learn fundamentals, all those other buzzwords that I heard growing up. But the bottom line of it is the reason I don't like it is because I physically wasn't good at it. And because I wasn't physically good at it, apparently that didn't make me masculine. And again, I don't know what the...
No, it just made you a bad person.
Have you tried the things?
Fundamentals, what a buzzword.
I mean, at least try the things. You can still hate them afterwards and want to do something else. That usually helps trying them at first. I hated a lot of things as a kid too, but that goes both ways. I hated things that were the boy things. I hated things that were the girl things. And in our school, everybody did everything, and maybe it's just the things that were offered were shit.
Not
martial arts are my thing, but all the sports stuff in school, I hated it. Partially because the teachers were shit, but I hate all the ball games. I don't like them, except basketball. But we didn't do basketball in school.
It really does depend on the influence of your friends and teachers to encourage you to do a thing like sports, because there's lots of sports which aren't that demanding, like volleyball or all kinds of handballs or this or that. And all it is having a good attitude, being physically fit, or keeping up with the rest of the pace of the rest of the people you're with. And that's it. And you could have a great time playing volleyball, basketball. We had this game called Baseballaria where we would smack a giant rubbery ball, like in baseball, and we'd run around the field because we didn't have a bat or for whatever reason. But
kickball?
It's basically kickball, but with your hand. And you know, these are everyone played this. The boys and girls played this together sometimes, and it was fun. Everyone enjoyed it. If you didn't want to play it or you were tired, you could just sit back. But everyone should be involved growing up in grade school, doing everything together. Because you're a kid. You don't know what's good for you yet. You will figure it out. And that's where you learn.
But don't take the doing everything together too extreme. Because in a socialist kindergarten, also all the kids have to do everything themselves,
obviously,
by themselves, which includes putting all the kids. I think that there would be a kindercrit, what we called it, the briefing.
Well,
that all of them have to go onto the port, and you don't get off until everyone has taken a shit.
Okay, that's too much.
Yes, yes. I'm just giving you an example of. Don't take the everyone has to do everything together to
no.
Everything has
once you got to grade 6 to 7, you either wanted to do music, sports, band practice. There was a specific one just for that. Other things like cross country or track and field, or all these things you could have chosen. There was language you could opt out of. You didn't want to learn French or English, for example, after grade 7. So
what? You could opt out of your is it your first or second foreign language?
Second foreign language. You could opt out of. Yeah.
You could opt out of your second foreign language in grade 7.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Over here it's mandatory.
I couldn't drop it. I couldn't even drop it until the end, and that kind of broke me.
I'm trying to. I don't know what that is in my school system.
Well, for Canada, it's French is our second one, and our third one was ever the community was around. So Italian or I think Swahili.
I mean like grade 7. Like
interesting.
What
the equivalent.
It's like it's, had I grown up in any other state but mine, I might not have bbeen completely broken by school. Great.
For us over here, English was the second language.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's the first. It's English is the first foreign language you have to learn in Germany.
I started with English anyway, so
that's
double whammy.
Yeah.
All right. Sports are important, even if you don't like them.
Yeah, you just need to find the right one for you. There's the right one for you. It's probably and there is a possibility it's not part of school.
Yeah, even for me, I was pretty active as a kid, but my favorite sport was still volleyball, just because I liked it. It was fun to play.
Yeah, and I was really I loved to swim as a kid, and although our swimming club was shit, they didn't teach you how to actually move your limbs. That's was kind of dumb. But thing is, I had to stop that because I developed a claw allergy. That's kind of shit when you want to swim. However,
Oh, really? You can have that?
when
That's crazy.
yeah, you get little, especially in your joint folds, it starts that you get little white pimples,
Ooh.
and you have to cut those out, and they come back if you are exposed to too much chlorine again. So the only way is either cutting out that stuff all the time or stopping to go
Jeez.
to swimming.
Well,
And it's just in your it's just if it's just in your elbows and your the backside of your knees, that's all. That's you can deal with that. But at some point, these things start to come to develop in other skin folds. You can imagine where, and then it gets a bit annoying.
well, Misp, you do know there's ozone-filled
Yeah,
pools these days, right?
What?
Ozone.
Huh?
Instead of chlorine, they use
Ozark?
ozone.
I don't know. I haven't
ozone.
heard of that, and I doubt it's done here. So
Well, check it out.
the German swimming halls, they usually stink down the street because they're over chlorined.
Well, I mean, if Germany is as clean as I remember the news reports about all this wonderful green energy, I'm assuming that someone built a public pool that uses ozone as opposed to chlorine.
No, ozone is bad, don't you know?
Oh yeah, it's
With
horrible.
the whole yeah.
It's evil.
I don't know. Thing is, in I think it was in grade 12 or
Destroy the world
13
in 2 years.
that we finally had had half a year of in sports of swimming, and my PE teachers who hated me because I was shit at everything because my coordination was just shit. I still had the childhood swim experience bonus, and my teachers were so surprised at how fast I was compared to all the other kids. Like there were 3 kids who had been swimming since childhood in a club, one of which I was me. So I was the slowest of the 3. That's okay, but I was still the 3rd fastest of all the kids because I had done that as a kid, as a young kid. And it's when my PE teachers were like, what, how, why are you so fast? Because I always got D's in sport. And this was like you jump in, and the teacher just takes the time of when you got back, the 50 meters. And he didn't expect me back already, so he was talking with the other teacher and distracted. And I was already slapping my hand at the side of the pool that I'm back, and that he fucking pushed the button on the time because he kept on talking like 3, 4, 5 seconds more, and he looked at me and said, "What? No, you can't be back already. Do it again." And okay, but this time you fucking look. And they did it, and I came back, and he was speechless. Like I was shit at everything in sports except swimming. And year after we did judo, and I already had a yellow belt at that time, and
David Barry.
he couldn't believe that I was then slamming all the other kids into the ground. Like I was shit at everything, and finally we did the 2 things I could do, and I liked.
I was shit at everything.
That's part of the next Karate Kid movie.
Nah, I never got that far.
Yeah, no, I was also shit at swimming as well.
Thing is, you will find something that you are actually enjoying. Just need to look for it.
Swimming was fun as a kid. I loved it. Anyway, let's go.
Is like in public schools these days. Again, I haven't gone to public school in a very, very long time. But when I was growing up, man, everything that was negative was slurred into being gay. And in retrospect, I hate that. I hate...
Yeah, and now the exact same things.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
now
Jesus.
Goomba.
That's how I know you're fucking gay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Goomba. And
dude,
then
you're fucking
the
gay.
exact same
Are you
things
joking?
that were slurred to you to being gay are now used by your SJW brainwashing friends into telling you that you're gay. And you have to try anal. And you should transition. Because you do gay things. You do things of the opposite sex. So you must be gay, you must be trans. Goomba, it's the exact same thing. It's not that it's suddenly everybody can do everything. That was already the case.
Yeah,
it's that they put you into the same box that your conservative ass parents did.
Yeah, it's not that hard to put two and two together on this shit at all.
I love how he gets offended that he's being called gay, because I thought that was a good thing.
Gay was
like 20 years later, like he left like public education, and he's still pissed about this. It's just amazing to me.
School is so painful.
Why it's fucking used? Because it fucking gets to you. It gets under your skin. You think about it when you go home at the end of the fucking day. Because you're like, no, they called me gay.
You know,
that's always that whole my day.
I can't believe they said that. Don't they know that
I'm trying to.
That's why they say it. It works.
I'm trying to wrap my brain about what was more
Oh my
traumatic.
god, he called me fat and gay, Jesus.
Yeah,
this is bullying 101, people.
Was it grade school that traumatized him or high school? Which one was it? And if so, what did you actually enjoy and like? And why? Because I want to know...
I was traumatized by all of it.
Well, okay, but you
Except
enjoyed
first grade.
one over the other for some reason, right?
He said public education, so I assume that high school was the last thing.
Yeah, because grade school
Which is
could
like
be many
16 when he finished it in US.
Yep.
Right. So
okay, he's from Texas.
It really depends on where your brain was and where you wanted to do and do well. So if you were like the jock, high school would probably be your thing.
Yeah, Texas, it's even worse because it's the rednecks doing all the...
It depends.
All the insulting.
It really depends. Yeah, if you were not into college football, like American college football, then you probably wouldn't do very well, but you might have liked running. Yeah. You might have liked track and field. I don't know. So it really depends on what you wanted to do. And if this guy...
You're not into tossing trees, it might not be your thing.
What I'm saying is this guy didn't like the stuff he was bad at, right? So if you didn't like it, why did you care what other people thought? If you were really good at pottery or drawing, and that's what you like doing, then who cares about that stuff you're not good at, that you're interested in?
You should lock yourself in your room and oh wait, it's America, where you're not allowed to even close the door to your room until you're 18. Like, this is the problem of your culture. Your kids don't get any privacy.
All right, here's...
And it's even worse if the parents are especially bad.
That's another part of the
equation. When I was 16, I think 15 or 16, I got so pissed by my parents always storming into my room, including knocking and instantly opening the door. Like, why are you even knocking then?
It's that scene from fucking Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, and I went...
One joke from Fairly Odd Parents every fucking day.
I'm talking to respect your privacy, but asserting my authority as your parent by walking in anyway. Yeah,
until I found the fucking key to my door, and then I locked the door inside all the time. I took my key with me.
You know what the most annoying thing is? My parents referenced that scene every time they did that. Like, literally, they literally quoted the scene as they did it.
Did they say the actual line and everything?
Yeah. They literally just quoted the line. Like, they literally saw that episode.
Do they actually say it like verbatim?
Yeah.
That'd be some funny shit to put on.
Sometimes they would just do they would sort of shorten it to, they would literally just say walking in anyway as a sort of shorthand but it's the same. Like, it's the reference, to the episode.
I'm surprised
it was kind of funny, but it was also annoying.
I'm surprised no one's reenacted that joke on TikTok yet.
Yeah, you have such low ages for driving, depending on the country, drinking, for voting, for
entering
any other shit. But you're not allowed to close the door to your room. What the fuck? You're allowed to get drafted and sent to Afghanistan. But you're not allowed to close the door to your room because you might jerk off or something. Or do something girly like drawing manga.
Oh my god. Anyway, here's the Mechanist. Thank you for the $1.11. As always, just got here. Freaking walked out of Candyman. That movie sucked. So what did I miss? So wanna be weeb shit, gay shit, coom, okay, I'm sold. What the? Alright, I mean...
Okay. I understood none of that.
I'm confused. I was looking for alcohol.
Yes, those were words.
That was a sentence or series thereof?
I said it better myself.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a series of thoughts.
Okay. Anyway, 6 minutes, 30
Those
seconds.
were thoughts.
We're getting there. Getting
We're taking up some
Indeed.
speed now.
Yeah, well,
Finally.
hopefully.
That was an actual thing. I remember so vividly, like
so
even as early as
fucking mad.
elementary school, junior high school. That was just
so fucking mad about it.
thing.
You need a
Everyone
therapist,
time period,
Goomba.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. To
You
not be
know,
masculine.
I have half a
was
mind to
such
play
a
the actual Fairly Odd
crushing
Parents clip
thing for
now,
boys.
just to like.
And we weren't allowed to talk
exempt
about it because if you did, that made you emasculate. That
No, Goomba, your problem is that you maybe your whole entire culture misunderstands masculinity. It's not necessarily about how you're built. It's about character. Are you courageous? Will you take a stand? You obviously didn't. You didn't speak up. Speaking up is manly.
But like, do you understand? Like this
Saying
shit
what
is
you
like
think is manly.
Like this shit is like you know, it's how boys try to basically, can you take shit? Like, can you take a little bit of fucking shit without being a little bitch about it? You know, that's the point of it. You know, and you getting so fucking worked up about it. You have fallen
like 20 years later.
You know, like you have completely missed the point of you know, the sort of bonding ritual.
Yeah.
Of
I mean, and
shit talking.
From what you're describing, Goomba, you have not been traumatized by school. You have not been psychologically abused by school. I was. But this is not the time to go into that detail. But it put some learning blockades into me that messed up a lot of shit. Problem with you is that you're just a fucking coward. You didn't speak up for yourself. You didn't say, no, I don't want to do this. I want to do something I'm interested in. And I'm just going to do it because fuck you. That would have been manly. That's, by the way, also what tomboys do. Tomboys are more manly than you, Goomba.
And that's the sad part in all this.
Yeah. It's not about the super. You're stuck at the superficial level, Goomba. It's about what's inside here.
Like sports, at least. You know?
Yeah. It's about what's inside here in your rib cage. You know.
It's about how much cholesterol is inside your art.
Well, I'm trying to think.
That's exactly not the thing that it's about.
I'm trying to think about
if you are obese, so honestly, even if you are obese for whatever reason, so fucking what? This topic is about what you want to do, what you are interested in. If that is drawing all day, and whether that is Sailor Moon crap or whether that is Dragon Ball stuff, like these main directions of girl manga, boy manga, that's up to you. It's completely up to you. Like, look at Clamp. They did girl stuff. They did boy stuff. But they're probably male mangaka who write and draw girl manga somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know any off the top of my head. I don't keep track of that usually, unless I'm really into the series.
World God Only Knows, maybe?
Yeah, just fucking do your shit that you're interested in. That would be manly. Or mature, if you will. But you to this day you haven't come to that point. Do you have a mental blockade that keeps you from doing that? To sit down and do the fucking shit? Man, you learn to edit videos. That's a meticulous job. But fucking hell, what keeps you today from that? You're just blaming your childhood on some bullshit that some socialist ass cunts put in your head. They're brainwashing you now, 20 years later. Like you're not growing up, you're regressing. That is what that psychobabble does to you. It makes you it regresses you into a more childlike state instead of a more mature state. All social justice does is the opposite of what good psychotherapy does to people.
Yeah, it's never been a matter. It's never been a matter of like boy stuff or girl stuff. It's a matter of like sticking true to what you want to do with your life, plain and simple.
One, he believes toxic masculinity, and he's getting offended that he's not considered masculine.
Yeah, it's like.
So sorry to get so riled up over this, but I'm pissed that when even like now, when I have 0 testosterone in my blood at this point, or 0.00 something, I feel still more manly than this guy. That's wrong.
Yeah, again, it's mainly a matter of if you want to do something specific with your life, sticking to it and not letting anyone get in the way of that. That it's never gender. It's your decision whether or not you want to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, just fucking do it.
And that was the message of the 90s, Goomba. Be yourself. Do it. Just do it. This is Nike's slogan. Just do it.
Really.
Bojack.
terrible
Nike's
message,
racist,
frankly.
remember? They're white colonizers.
That's why they had Bo Jackson. He could do so many things.
Oh, and then is Goomba now growing some eternal shame thing, guilt thing, because he's doing cultural appropriation since his channel was founded? Is that the next phase of him? That would be really sad.
Oh.
Just do what you fucking love.
Yep.
You don't need to become Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm just waiting for him to go down the Digibro route, you know?
Okay, 7 minutes in. Ugh.
that made Henley to even bring up the notion that these things bothered you. But all of this really came to a head, really, when the anime boom of the 90s really started to hit late 90s, early 2000s and whatnot. I mean, immediately, as soon as I went home, it was watch Dragon Ball Z, watch Tenchi Muyo.
That was Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z.
But then also watch Sailor Moon. And this
what the fuck? Who are you? What have you done with Goomba?
This time that I actually, as a young adult,
who is this man?
You know, passing
Dragon Ball Z was first, and then Dragon Ball in the US. They had different order.
What?
With what?
We have to talk about that. Are you kidding me?
No, Dragon Ball was first.
No. The way they aired it.
The airing order was different.
The airing order. They aired Dragon Ball Z first because they wanted to go straight into the action show. Because of the way Toonami was structured back then.
Some of the animation though, in the original Dragon Ball in the tournaments are
that is retarded as fuck.
I mean, no, not really, because at that point it's like we didn't give a fuck. Dragon Ball Z.
I understand the company's logic, but it's just fucked up.
No, it is a stupid decision. It's just that we were just lucky that Dragon Ball Z on its own holds up well enough.
Yeah,
we didn't
you
need
don't
Dragon
really
Ball.
need to have seen Dragon Ball to watch Dragon Ball Z.
That may as well be. But the thing is, the original Dragon Ball series is for even younger children.
Yes, and they didn't want.
And you can grow with it into Dragon Ball Z.
I think maybe. Do you think maybe it was part of it?
That is the whole point. That is the whole point. They wanted to go for the older teenage crowd first.
But do you think part of it
was a better way to do it?
Do you think part of it was like the way in the first episode he's like, "Yo, why don't you have a fucking penis?" You know, in the very first episode. Do you think maybe they were like, I don't know if this will work in the West. I don't know if we can do this on.
Well, in the second, I think in the second or the third episode, he meets Chi-Chi for the first time, and the first thing she does is throw her helmet razor boomerang thing and decapitates the Tyrannosaurus Rex. To make dinner or lunch out of.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't. They did. I mean, I'm pretty sure they did keep Dragon Ball mostly intact when they brought it over finally.
Yeah,
they did.
Honestly, don't remember that. I remember watching Dragon Ball first. So.
Well, they did air Z first because they wanted to appeal to the older teenage audience. That I do remember.
I think we had five to 6 or 7 reruns of Dragon Ball before we ever got Z.
Honestly, I
other
never
countries-
really watched.
Yeah, other countries
either.
did get Dragon Ball original first, but America specifically got Z first.
Like I
So
never really
weird.
watched them growing up. Funnily enough, and I think I didn't really watch Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball until after I got like quote unquote into anime, and then I sort of went back. I was like aware of them, and I played a lot of the games and stuff, right? But I didn't actually follow the story.
I assume you were one of the many people that got into Dragon Ball Z like well after the anime boom.
Like I think I I was obviously I was into it in a sense, but in like a sort of I was tangentially aware of it, and I played a lot of the Budokai what do you call it, Budokai Tenkaichi?
The old Budokai
Budokai
games,
Tenkaichi,
yeah.
Whatever, yeah.
Those were the
Yeah,
shit.
Those
back
games were
then,
fucking
man.
fire.
They were
And
great.
I hadn't really watched the show. It was sort of I mean I'd watched like the occasional episode here and there, but I could not like I didn't follow the entire storyline or anything like that. I think I'd already watched. I watched Naruto when it was on, and then after that,
Budokai
I
3
watched
was the best
Chunin
one.
exam. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then it just stopped airing, and I was like, oh, and so I had to go back and see what shonen things there were to see.
I had absolutely no idea that the airing was reversed between those two shows.
Yep.
I only know
America
that
was the first.
that the American Saber Rider was completely cut up into a new show, so that Cold got more scenes.
I don't even know if we got the original Dragon Ball in the UK.
In the US, yes, we did. It was around the same time that we also got GT.
I know, but I'm talking about
Right.
like in
That's
the UK.
so weird.
I'm not sure if we got it.
Mm.
We got like a really badly translated French version of
Oh, God.
Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah.
The opening, it was the same. It was god awful.
Never
My
forget
It was speaking about
condolences.
friendship.
It's okay, Blue. He's a Super Saiyan.
No. Harmony Gold dub with the original Dragon Ball, where he was literally called Zero. Yes, look it up.
I
Zero.
remember.
The
You gotta
German
love those
Dragon
old
Ball
dubs,
intro
dude.
makes zero sense.
Hey, Ocean dub was the
Or the
shit back
infamous
then. Let's be
green.
honest.
Ocean dub, yes. I will send you to the next dimension.
No, bro, but never.
They've
And
got
also,
parachutes. They're okay.
no, yeah, I think it was like the Toon's Eye version where they made Mr. Popo blue because of
Yes.
stupid reasons.
That's so racist.
Oh yeah, and Kai.
Yeah, and yet turning him blue literally made it worse without them even realizing it. Like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
The same thing with Jinx and Pokemon.
Oh well, Jinx was just straight up. Well, Jinx was a bit closer to being offensive.
I don't know, but it's still kind of like
Well,
it's
it's
just
a-
being a bit silly.
Yeah, but that's just a Japanese thing.
Hey, yes.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
Japanese have to change their culture because the Brits and Americans are racist.
Yes.
That's racist.
Yes.
I think the thing is, like, it's just like, okay, what is the offensive thing? What, that they have big lips? Is that offensive?
Yeah,
Is it like,
completely
wow,
black.
you can't just say they have big lips. Wow, how dare you?
It's like completely black skin with the big lips.
It's like, okay, but like it doesn't actually like there's nothing. It's not like the actual character is perfectly like intelligent and
This reminds me.
Yes.
I wanted
there's not
to.
perfectly likable, intelligent character. So what is the? It's not implying
plus
anything
if
negative
any-
about people that look like him. So I mean, it's like
Plus, in the case of Dragon Ball specifically, Mr. Popo is very specifically one of the people that trains Goku in the first place.
right. So it's like
Yeah,
so,
he's like one tier below God in power.
One tier below Kami, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, how is that a bad character? Like, and everybody loves Mr. Popo.
Yes.
I
he
don't
is-
know of anyone who dislikes Mr. Popo. Mr. Popo is amazing.
He's a legitimately good character, and he is one of the better aspects of Dragon Ball's plot because he was one of the people that drained him.
Yeah, and he's funny at the same time in a positive way. It's just, like
Especially,
great.
especially in
It's just great.
especially in Dragon Ball Z at times,
Mhm.
which I never thought possible back then.
Yeah, and just reminded me. I want at some point, because I watched it as a kid, and I want to rewatch it at some point. I want to rewatch Samurai Pizza Cats.
Okay,
Okay, well,
let's get.
yeah, we can finally move on. Yeah.
what it is that I enjoyed and what I used to identify as being a man. I watched Sailor Moon religiously when I was growing up. I don't remember that much of it.
I watched it for the tits.
As an adult now because
I don't remember watching anime and going, now I am a man.
Goomba, there were a damn lot of boys in my class who watched Sailor Moon because the girls are pretty.
I mean, I don't know. I remember a lot of people.
That was the thing.
I remember a lot of kids watching Dragon Ball Z back in the day, thinking they could get stronger just from screaming like idiots.
Yeah, and that was the kid. It was like 7th, 8th, 9th grade, and there was the I think you would call them jocks.
Yeah.
From that tier to my tier, the boys watched Sailor Moon because of the sexy girls, not because of the plot. Even what fucking plot in Sailor Moon?
I love the fucking. You remember the fucking episode with the fucking floppy disk? You know, where there's like a floppy disk that they need that has like this data that's gonna do something on it.
It's like back in the day, the normies didn't watch either show for the whole thing. It's like Sailor Moon for the chicks, Dragon Ball Z for the action. That's it.
Yeah,
and the chicks.
And so, Dragon Ball, you can actually make the point for the plot because the plot is funny and good. Sailor Moon has virtually no progression.
It's Dragon Ball Z's action goes hand in hand with the plot.
Mm-hmm.
That's the advantage there. It's the genesis of the modern shonen anime for a fucking reason.
I'm going to punch you. It's just going to take me 3 episodes to do it.
I mean, that was mainly the fact that, it was mainly the fact that by the time of Namek, the anime had well caught up to the manga at that point. That's why at that point it started to stall for time while the manga did its thing, so that the anime would have something to fucking adapt. That's the main reason why it dragged things on for so long in Dragon Ball Z, because there was no manga at that point yet to adapt. Because they had gone through so much of it so quickly between the original Dragon Ball and Z up to that point that they left nothing to interpretation at that point. They were caught up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Modern shows wouldn't do. They don't really do filler. They just go, okay, well, we'll just wait until there's enough, and then we'll do another
same
season.
reason. Another one that everybody watched was I think Cat's Eye, the trio of sisters that were stealing art pieces because it was part of the collection of their father.
Oh, okay.
That was something that a lot of kids watched. But it had pretty women, and it had a plot.
No, Pretty Women. No, not the movie.
Yeah, well, and the original Cutie Honey ran in Germany,
right?
Which is the basic genre-defining thing for the magical girl genre, which had only 1 season and had a plot. I was surprised when I watched it. Like, whoa, it's not Sailor Moon bullshit. It's better.
All right.
Yeah, boys watch the magical girl stuff because, oh, look, sexy girls with tits. Oh my god.
Here's the mechanist again for the $1.11. Jinx is based off a yokai and a fashion trend of blonde, dark-skinned girls.
Kanguro.
Also, Jinx is underrated in battle and is one of my favorite Pokemon. I think they're cute and love how they chase you and blow kisses in the new game. Oh, that's weird.
They're all female.
Oh.
And I never underrated her. I just don't want her in the team. Or when I played Pokemon Stadium, every time someone had a fucking Jinx, it's like horrible. The only thing worse to kill was Chanera. Like with its million hit points. And regeneration.
All right.
Go away.
Let's keep going.
I do remember how religiously I would watch that show. And you look at old Sailor Moon and you're like, oh, this is a girl's thing. This is for girls. Don't think with the mindset of now. Think of a mindset 30 years ago.
Yeah, you know, 30, well, 30. Let's say 20, 25 years old. Are you telling me you're older than me? Fucking hell. At that time, kids in puberty, as I just said several times, you know what happens when a boy gets into puberty and starts liking girls?
Masturbates.
Yeah, and look, oh, so many good-looking girls on the screen. Oh, and the transformation since she's basically naked. Huh? If you play it in reverse, it's like she's undressing. Huh?
Now the Barbie dolls are more appealing.
But it's when no
Take
spinning.
off their clothes.
Goomba, it's like you don't understand how boys work.
I don't think you understand how he worked when he was a boy.
My face when it
Yeah.
kind
I'm
of
erect. I don't
to
know
spin
what to do
around
with it.
while floating in the air, naked
Goomba,
and
what-
shining in multiple colors. at the same
Since you
time.
got
Why
so
even
offended by
live?
being called gay and not understanding why boys would watch Sailor Moon, are you gay? Because I don't know what, dude. Let us know. Maybe he figures it. Maybe it's exactly what he's telling us. Then I'm gonna retract my very offensive statement. But seriously, dude, what the fuck?
At
Totally
the patterns, the
spies.
soft lines, all these other things, and you
Not
think that
pastel.
this is girls. And
It's primary colors.
I remember
Yeah.
I was talking with a counselor about this.
Wow, what?
What?
Wait.
I like
He's so
anime.
quiet. I can barely hear him. I want to hear this.
I'm watching Sailor Moon. Help me.
That
Give me medication.
escalated so fucking quickly.
Wow.
I mean, I hope
This
it
is-
works out, bro. But like,
Goomba?
This is like another Christian in the making.
I am terribly
Oh,
sorry.
boy.
You never got a good therapist in your life. My
yeah, that's
God.
what you need, a good therapist.
Yeah, man. Okay. Goomba, if for some reason you torture yourself by watching our rant here, check out the channel Terramine Trees. It's like Terramine, but with an I, or with an A. Terramine Trees. It's a very good channel. Who's an ex-therapist who also explains how bad therapy works or how that happened. It's part of why he left the profession, and this might be good. Some good give you some good ideas, some things to think through. It's not a replacement for therapy, but it might be a better starting point than whatever you were dealing with in your life. Anyway, let's listen to what you told your counselor.
I remember I was talking with a counselor about this, and I was like, there is a show that I watch, and and I said the words, it's for girls. I talked about, how it involves all these different female characters, like every major character is female. I mean, there was Tuxedo Mask, but I mean, how much did he really do? Where do you think this meme came from? But it was very much geared towards... And I asked them, I said, is it wrong for me to like this? That is insane.
Can you imagine
That is an
being the
insane
fucking
thing
counselor?
to even consider in this
No,
age, because
No, it's not. The question is, what did your counselor answer?
Imagine being
You can
the
have. You're
counselor in
a
this
kid.
situation.
You're a kid. You don't know, understand any
know.
fucking thing in the fucking world. You
Wait,
are supposed to ask questions. Some questions may be obvious in hindsight. Others are not.
I know the
Is this
answer.
fucking-
Like the counselor just said, "You're gay."
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
You know,
You're trans.
what you could
Here's
have
some
said instead.
hormone blockers.
Guys, come in. Look at
Goomba.
this fucking gay retard.
Goomba,
All of us.
your
trans.
problem
All the people
was-
from the class just come in and go, ha, ha, fucking gay.
Let's all point and laugh at his humiliation.
here.
Goomba, your problem was that you did not figure out as a kid, number one, this show is about friendship. Holy fucking shit, is it about the power of friendship. Secondly, it's about girls with asses and tits that are slim. That's why you watched it,
This
I
is
hope.
technically true, yes.
Yeah.
Well, We don't know.
It doesn't
how
matter
his
if
mind
it's
works
marketed
yet.
to girls. It doesn't fucking matter.
I don't know.
You know, this is
Was
the,
it- is it-
this is, you
I'm
know, with
kind
the,
of
with,
lost because he's talking about as a kid, right? Not as an adult
yeah,
now.
yeah. But
Okay.
you know, juveniles are still kids.
Okay.
They call them young adults in the Anglosphere for some reason, which is bullshit. They're not young adults because they're not adults yet. A young adult would be 18 plus. That would be a young adult. You're an adult, but you just started to be an adult. But they're trying to
think
push
about
this
it,
term young adult to 12 and 13 and up. And that's bullshit.
Exactly.
That's juvenile. That's kid. That starts with kids who haven't even had their growth
Technically, it's
spurt.
an adult. Technically, it's consent. So technically,
Yeah, that's why they're
Yeah.
pushing it.
there was
The
no
point,
crime
the point
committed.
is, where I actually wanted to go is, look at My Little Pony, the current generation. What that is marketed towards 6-year-old girls and up. Accidental audience, you. That wasn't intended.
Yeah,
Just
ultimately,
as you get a non-intended audience of horny boys who watch Sailor Moon.
Like, I just don't. I can't understand how he's so like he's literally having to like self-flagellate himself by like, oh no, I said the naughty word. I said the naughty. I said this is for girls. Oh no, and he's like, you know, metaphorically whipping himself for his misdeeds. You know, his you know, he's like, you know, he's policing his own thoughts. You know, he's like, oh no, I had an intrusive thought.
Yeah.
I can't think that. I can't think. Don't even think it. Don't even think that it's for girls. Don't even think it. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to think it. I didn't mean to think that it's for girls.
Oh
Since
no.
Since you're getting into this crowd and adopting the brainwashing bullshit that always goes on, this is problematic and that is problematic. Had you been a child right now, telling your counselor you're watching a show that is marketed towards girls, you know what your counselor would have answered you? Well, obviously you must be trans. We should put you on hormone blockers and give you estrogen and cut off your penis and your balls. And put you in a dress. That's what would happen right now. You think that's worse than being called gay? Or do you think that's better than being called gay?
And by complete coincidence, I get a cut of the cost for all of the hormones and the surgery, hormone therapy and the surgery and whatever. I just happened to get a little cut of that, the pay for that. But you know, just ignore that. Just ignore it. But
Yeah,
it's for your own good.
Participate in myself. I just need the money.
Look, just because I benefit monetarily from you making this decision does not mean that in any way influences my advice.
I'm not pushing you towards one way or the other.
But it would help me out. It would help me pay rent. It would help me out a little.
Me to help you.
Look, we all win here.
Everybody's a winner. Everybody loves a winner, right?
You get
Everybody likes
to permanently alter your body, and I get money.
You'll be infertile. You'll never. It doesn't matter whether you find a mate or not. You will never be able to have kids because you watched Sailor Moon. That is what's happening right now with these ideologically possessed counselors and therapists. Goomba, I'd rather just be called gay.
I'm just like, where are the parents in the scenario? Like,
yeah. Oh, the parents don't know. The parents don't know that he watched Sailor Moon. He did that in secret.
The parents don't give a fuck.
Oh, they have multiple
But
TVs
I'm
in the
gonna-
house.
assert their authority.
I wanna know.
I'm just imagining they're probably working, and he's just doing all this shit by himself. I don't know.
But I want to know whether Goomba is going to tell us what his counselor told him, because I have a feeling he won't.
Yeah, like, is this
No,
a
he
school
will.
counselor,
We'll get
or
to
is
it
this
right
a
now. Yeah.
counselor that they hired?
This is the supreme counselor.
I think he did go to the school counselor. I think that's what he said, yeah.
The emergency powers invested in me by the.
This is how therapy dies, with thundering applause. On YouTube.
And hormone blockers.
Oh, Wes, you gotta make that into a meme, I swear to God.
Okay. Here's Tyler Preston. Thank you
That's
for
a
the
meme
donation.
right there.
I can certainly tell you that boys can and do like watching magical girl shows. Yes, they're fine. Take, for example, Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha. It also attracted the mecha fan base with mecha weapons and looking like it was pulled out of a super robot show. There's all kinds of subgenres and cross-genres within anime and manga that attract people from all sorts of different areas, whether it's the romance crowd or the yaoi crowd or the mecha fan base. Yeah, there's all kinds.
Let's not even get into tokusatsu.
Do not watch Gorana.
Okay, but
Not enough.
You will regret it.
there is a flavor of anime or a subgenre of a subgenre for everyone out there. It's great. That's the great diversity and passion of the Japanese and their desire to tell stories. So it's fantastic.
And that's a good contrast to Goomba's childhood problem, because the Japanese, the whole anime thing, and Japanese movies as well, they do what they fucking want. And Goomba was scared to do what he wanted.
Okay. All right. 9 minutes in. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, why does that matter? But this was the first time that I was challenging the notions of masculinity that were placed upon me. Very first time. And
You were challenging shit,
I
buddy.
remember that the final answer that I received from that counselor was, it's not
You're
a
gay.
problem, it's just something you enjoy. But that answer...
Wait, so you had a good counselor?
They should have said this.
What?
Yeah, you have a good sound.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear the rest of, because he says I disagree with it or something. So
No. He said, what was it?
I kind of want to hear
rewind
it.
it to tick. Let's just rewind it.
I want to hear it.
Like 10 seconds, yeah.
It's not a problem, it's just something you enjoy. But that answer took some time to get around to. And in retrospect, thinking about that, I guess that kind of bothers me. I think that retroactively bothers me.
No, I think it's more about like the fact. It's more about the fact
So
that,
the
like,
problem is
fucking
solely
retroactive
within
process
you.
One at a time.
Stuff like that.
Okay, why does it bother you? It's legitimately good advice. It is.
No. His problem
Whatever
is
you like, dude.
his problem isn't the advice. It's that it took him that long to hear it. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's because it took him that long to process it. And that Goomba, that is a normal thing. When you're struggling with something, someone tells you, "Oh, dude, that's okay. That's okay. You're good. You're good." That sometimes takes very long, especially when you are insecure, when you're introverted, and for an example, imagine that you never got any compliments in your life up until your 20s or 30s.
Yeah, so
And
B-meal.
any of those you got until that point were just slime of people trying to manipulate you to get something out of you, to use you. And then there is this magical moment that you cannot believe where someone tells you a genuine compliment and you cannot find that pattern that tells you this is a lie. You can't find it. And you just have to accept the fucking compliment. And that will work inside of you for a long time until it's finally accepted. That's something on a smaller scale that you were going through. It's just something that was so at odds with your preconceptions, wherever they came from. Maybe you put them on yourself. Maybe they were a product of all the environment you took in, or maybe you misinterpreted something. It can also be the case. Maybe you really had shitty parents who told you that you have to do these things or you're not a boy. Like, maybe that was the case. But the point is, these things, when they have crystallized somewhat in your mind, in our minds, in anyone's mind, they take a while to take apart again. And right now, you are falling into an ideology that abuses exactly this crystallized bullshit and tries to replace it with its own bullshit to crystallize out. If you fall into this SJW trap, you will just replace the old bullshit with new bullshit. You will still not be free. You will still feel compelled to do things according to a certain rule, a certain dogma of stereotypes that you are told.
Exactly.
There will
You'll
just
never
be
be good
different
enough.
ones.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mark, do you remember what you wanted to say 5 minutes ago?
It's just like he.
I'm sorry.
I gotta think about.
That tends to be the $1 million question on Smudcast.
So I'll shut up for 5 minutes.
No. Like, okay, like the principal probably like was like thinking like, oh god, like is he really like so embarrassed about this that he's watching a cartoon and he's feeling insecure about himself? And, like it probably like had to like think of that like, okay, what is like the diplomatic answer to this question? And was probably it.
You're fat.
Yeah.
Complete non-sequitur. You're fat.
You're fat. Go for a
Well, I'm
jog.
just,
You're fat.
I'm just thinking, like, what was the therapy session like? Did he just go one time and that was it, or was this an ongoing process?
Assuming it's. Sounds like it's probably a regular thing. Like it doesn't sound like this is that one time. That one time I went to. It seems like it's probably a regular thing. I don't know if it's just him or if it's just like
I don't know. Yeah.
in general. Kids just had like going to the concert, but what was I gonna say?
Maybe
Yeah,
just
I don't
like
know, it
swept
depends, I
on that
guess,
he's
yeah.
fat and gay.
I was gonna say, it seems like he has this weird dichotomy, this false dichotomy in his head that either things are for girls or for boys, or there are no gender roles at all, and it's like basically a mortal sin in his like moral framework to even say that something is for girls. Do you know what I mean? Like he can't hold in his head that something can simultaneously be basically for girls, but that it's also okay for him to like it. You know what I mean? Like, because I think it's perfectly fine to say that even like Sailor Moon's like it is basically for girls. That doesn't mean like you can't like it, but it's still true to say that it is basically made for and marketed towards girls, and that's fine. And there's no reason to change that just because it's okay for you to. Yeah, sure, it's okay, but it is a little bit odd, you know. But it's fine. It's fine to be a little bit odd, but it is still a little bit odd.
Yeah, I would say the
For
people
to be
who are artists
into it.
of any denomination draw or paint whatever they want. The content could be for anything or anyone, and that's the same with seamsters or people who know how to create something out of cloth. And I have my neighbor who's an amazing artist. I call him an artist just because he's so good at it. But he's retired, and people still go to him because they know how good he is. And he's the guy you go to when no one else can do the job, because he can make you a dress with that material that's so expensive no one else should touch it except for him. That's a feminine thing, to make dresses or to make suits for men, because he's so sensitive to making stuff with his hands. And that's just a craft you learned when you grew up in Italy. You either became, if you wanted to do trade, it was either a barber or a seamster. And if you didn't do one or the other, you became something else, like a concrete layer, or you went to school and became something academic. So that's just something he kept going with. The thing is, he was recognized as a talent at that age. And whether he developed feminine sensibilities doesn't make much of a difference, because he was producing quality work every time, even at a young age. So that
Probably happy too, right?
Oh, well, he loved it, of course. And people respected that. They saw that. He worked for Danier. He brought Danier leather back to the brink in North America, in fact. So he's this really amazing dude. And I just wish I had more clothing to go out with, because I don't go out as much as I used to ask him to fit me, because once you ask him to do a job, he does it perfectly. So
Nice.
even if that's considered a feminine job or an interest, he became the best at it. And that's what this gentleman has to figure, or should have figured out at that age. And I don't know what exactly liking anime has to do with, male, female roles. It's just a thing.
I'm also wondering his like what does his friends look like?
Oh, you
know?
mean in terms of athleticism, or what? Like what they like, or
Like what does he surround him with that
see.
makes him continuously struggle with this?
well,
the
obviously,
thinking of, I guess, gender roles.
Yeah,
His
obviously.
friends are right there. They're on the shelf right there. That's his friend.
Well, when I was growing up,
Oh no.
even in high school, I had a select few of friends who loved the anime, manga, RPG, gaming sort of world. And that's just, like, we just knew what was fun and cool and new. And like when Neon Genesis came, I was like, what's that? We got to check that out. And it took a while to come out, but we were like, wow, it's amazing. And then we sort of realized this is not as amazing as we thought. And then it sort of tapered off there. But we got into Gainax. We got into all these companies that made this stuff from Japan. We got ourselves known with Konami and PlayStation when it came out. So all these things sort of just came together. And that was how media was made at the time, the 90s, because all we had was Nintendo and Saturday morning cartoons and I think Adult Swim cartoons at the time as well. Yeah. So I don't know. I never felt any stigma from that at all. I don't know.
No, not at all.
Maybe from my parents because I was focusing so much on having fun because I was doing other things. But yeah. Other than that, no, it's great. Good times. Anyway, 9.5. We're doing okay.
But that's just kind of where I was as a young adult trying to figure themselves out.
You
But
mean
that's
a
also
kid?
where my interpersonal change started. As a boy growing up in the US, having all of these different stereotypes about what made someone a boy or what made someone a man, anime was my gateway into Japan. And Japan was my gateway into understanding that not only is it okay to like cute things, to like things that are girly or whatever, that
How's that
honestly,
shown in
it
anime?
kind of
That's
should
weird.
be encouraged to explore these things. But for me, it was
Whoa.
No. You're
Whoa,
mixing
whoa,
something
whoa,
up here.
whoa.
Wait,
Goomba,
what?
you could do the
Where?
same thing with American products. You just didn't. The thing is, in anime, that is not the message that is conveyed anywhere. You're just watching the products.
But you notice how we've gone from it should be okay to now we should push them in the other direction. Like not just neutral, not just indifferent, but now it's like no, we should actively push them in the direction of non-standard things.
The thing I can give to Japanese media is that there is a greater variety of positive male characters that are shown fine to aspire to. Like in the US, the nerd back then usually was portrayed as someone goofy or someone who gets shit on a lot, and only sometimes useful. There are a couple movies where the nerd is the hero. It's also usually a comedy, but in general, it's not. Nerds were not portrayed as characters to aspire to. Like the intelligent male was not a character shown to aspire to. When in Japan, it is not just physical prowess and competence that is shown as good. It is also the emotional level. It is also the intelligence. It is also maybe it is some musical skill. There's all these things. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter which, at least as long as you excel at something and you're a good person. And that I would say is something positive about the Japanese outlook we see in anime. However, I don't remember a single thing where anime teaches you that it's okay to like cute things. That I have never seen anywhere.
I think that's more of an Asian thing in general. When you look at China and Japan and
I think it's just more open.
well, yeah, they design things with a very childlike demeanor look. And
Armstrong and fucking
Japanese media is just the most upfront with it, if anything.
yeah, they're very open. They like Hello Kitty and Pan Man and all these other cutesy little cartoon shows.
It's just honest.
That get very popular, and they run with it. And they make
all the silly, stupid shit like Super Sentai and all that.
yeah. They're like, hey, let's have some fun. This is great. This appeals to kids. This appeals to really young kids. This appeals to young adults. Whatever, and does it sell? If it does, make more.
It sells, especially Sentai.
It's very, very much like throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it sticks because there's so much content and media.
Oh yeah.
That is literally Sentai, by the way.
Yeah. So there is something for everyone. Someone has thrown it at the wall before. You just have to look at the wall. It's a really old wall. It's there. Okay.
Yeah, there's something for everyone.
Getting kind of grimy, that wall.
That wall is full of crap. You better believe it.
It needs a power wash, really.
Yeah, it is.
And you can simulate
Football
that
holes in there,
on Power
too.
Wash Simulator.
They made that
Truly
too.
unreal.
Which is not sponsoring this video, but you should.
I mean, there are
play it.
well, at least there are at least a couple franchises out there that do clean that wall every once in a while. It's rare, but it happens.
Just
Some
don't
people
forget
shit
to
on
clean your light switches.
They just take shit and just rub it.
And
in.
always remember the soap, and not to drop it.
Okay.
Most
I
examples
don't get it.
are like
Moving
freaking
on.
these. These were the solitary thing that got me interested and falling in love with the color pink.
That is
freaking
rose.
cherry blossoms were the things that got me to
That
understand
is not pink.
a color is a color. And if you like a color, that's completely fine. I mean, when we think of Japan, we typically think of sakura and whatnot, right?
So
But
he is
what
What?
the matter is for me on a personal level is that
Goomba, I fear you have completely brainwashed yourself into stereotypical thinking on your own.
I think of whiskey. I don't know about you.
And this
Whiskey's
got
delicious.
so fucking extreme. Do you know, even back in the day, in the 80s, men were wearing pink dress shirts, usually with shoulder pads and everything. Like that's not that. What are you fucking talking about?
Like the hair metal bands and
who
shit.
has brain? We know the socialists are brainwashing you now, but who has brainwashed you before?
Anime.
That
His
seems-
friends,
yeah.
I don't know.
I was gonna
Also,
say
you
that
can't
seems
even
to
tell
be-
colors apart. Shame
I was
on
gonna
you.
That seems to be the $1 million question now. It's like who's been doing it up to this point before the
Yeah,
woke nonsense?
yeah.
I don't know, but
Man.
I feel that
Oh,
they have
did you
names
know- did you
and
know,
addresses.
Maybe his counselor. I don't know.
Lots of botanists also were men
Yes.
selling you all that stuff, raising the bloody things because that's hard work. It's hard. It's physical labor.
Yeah, a lot of the
It's not just the bonsais
The chefs.
that men cater to.
chefs are men. They do very ornate, gorgeous, if not cute-looking arrangements of food in Japanese cuisine. There's all sorts of artistry, which use a variety of colors and things you wouldn't consider very manly, I guess, if you never thought about it or never seen it.
Well,
that-
traditionally manly, but
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think a lot of chefs are men. A lot of flower arrangers, I would imagine.
Yes, it's because being a chef, an actual chef, is a very stressful job.
Oh yeah, being a
Yes.
gardener, Japanese.
just look at what Gordon Ramsay does on a daily basis.
Yeah, making
Yeah.
spirits, making food, making drink. These are all very men-occupied jobs because they have an attention to detail. I'm not saying women don't do it. Obviously, they do it as well. I just don't know how much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly the master distillers, the master chefs, the master gardeners that have been doing this for decades and decades.
Oh yeah. Then you have, of course, the tailors. It's also a predominantly male profession back in the day. On the other hand,
Derek.
it was in southern Germany. I know for a fact that a lot of you had like one tavern per village, and that always has a house beer, and the house beer was traditionally brewed by the wife. That's not the big breweries. That's the small tavern brewery where you go to on your trip through the village and take a stop. You ask for the house beer. That was traditionally brewed by the wife, which you probably didn't expect, Goomba.
Plus, when I think of white blossoming
Suck
trees, I think of plum trees just because I'm surrounded by people with plum trees in my living area.
Mhm.
And those aren't necessarily Asian. They're all over the world. Plum trees you find everywhere. But you could say sakura blossoms or cherry trees. which are, well, not cherry trees. No, they would be sakura trees from Japan. I think that's their official symbol or whatever, official plant.
Yeah. I want to answer his question because he wondered where the color scheme came from boys versus girls. There was a switch 2 centuries ago at this point, where the boys were always dressed in pink and rose because the pigment for that was so bloody expensive. It was to show off wealth. So the traditionally more important child got dressed in that color. It was to show off wealth. And why is the male the more important one? Because the male goes to war. The male will continue the line. And it was even here in Europe, it was often that there was some burden by taking in the woman into the family. So you rather wanted a boy in that regard. So the boy got the fucking expensive garments, which could look silly by today's standards, but not at all back then. And same with high heels. That high heels come from horse riding, and then the nobles thought, oh, that's like a personal stage that I can always walk around on. Amazing. And then the women wanted to imitate that. And then the heels stuck with the women because they are actually quite impractical if you're not horse riding.
The reason men wear heels is very different than the reason women wear heels, because women, it's not to be taller, it's to emphasize the curves of the legs.
Yeah, most women don't know that. That when you walk on,
it's not actually about how tall you are. You know, that's
but they don't notice, or they don't even notice that when you walk in heels, your ass automatically clenches a bit. It's more tight, and that makes your ass look better.
Yeah, the men definitely notice that.
Yes. Anyway, it's all these little things, and yeah, it's same with the heart. You know the Valentine's heart that everybody knows.
It's a fucking Dexter's mom's ass from Dexter's Lab.
Well, there is the theory that it does resemble either an ass or a bosom. However, the heart was also understood as a sign of male courage. So that's why we find it engraved on some old swords and some or ornamentation on armor. We actually had armor with hearts engraved in them and swords with hearts engraved in them. We had that He-Man shit, man. But that was because the symbols were understood in a different way.
But then gender stereotypes happened.
Or they switched around, you could say, by you could generally say everything that makes men great, women want to adapt at some point. They want to, we want to do that too. And then it stays with the women, and the men go on with, actually that's impractical, let's do something else. And then the women go, we want to do that too. Like we see in every generation of feminism. We want to do that too, but we don't want to do the pesky stuff.
Yeah, they don't want to put in the actual effort.
We want equality, but we don't want to work on oil rigs.
I always thought
we want equality in the workplace, but we don't want to work in coal mines.
The Virgin Mary, right? I thought blue. There was a big association with blue and the Virgin Mary, right? That she was always traditionally shown to be wearing blue.
Well,
that became like a tradition.
The women, the girls wore blue before the color switch.
But like, really, if you look at like really, really old paintings of the Virgin Mary, she's always wearing blue.
Yeah, but it's really just a contemporary thing. It may, even without all the social justice crap, the colors might have switched around or off again at some point. They don't need to actively push it. It just happens around the world naturally.
It's just life.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It just goes beyond the time of a generation that you live through. So it can appear to you that it has always been this way and it will be that way after I die forever.
Yeah, it's
because you only saw this little tiny slice of the universe.
It's the same with fashion of the decade. It will change the length and shape of dresses and pants and shirts and hair and all kinds of things. It will always change It's up and down, left and right. It's whatever
all around.
It's whatever the culture of the times says, and to critique it is fine if you're comparing apples to apples, but to say compare the fashion of the 90s to the fashion of the 60s is foolish. You're not understanding.
There is no comparison.
There's
has there been that much change in the past like 2 decades? Like from like the
the past 2 decades, not much.
You know what I mean? I feel like there was a whole lot of changes in like the 20th century.
Yeah.
And then the 21st century is like very small, like incremental changes, mostly to do with the cut of the genes.
Well, in more recent times, there's been more of a hardened, more of a baseline than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
It will just take longer from now on due to the world being interconnected through the internet.
Well, yeah,
we're right now we have some cultural homogenization, you could say, but that will take forever.
Well, the difference is we are now being influenced by technology more than fashion trends or entertainment trends. Mm-hmm. Everything now is coming through the guise of the internet, whether it's streaming services or the next smartphone or the next augmented reality service or whatever is going to be popular next year.
Yeah, so, and it's easier to adopt to a culture that is not of your own, where you grew up.
It's disruptive of the culture, whatever that technology is, as opposed to like bell bottoms was a symbol for peace or whatever, which was fine.
It's the difference between TV and the internet is that TV is sort of a linear thing. Like everyone, like say like Top of the Pops, everyone watches it at the exact same time every week, you know. So whereas like now you have basically all music that was ever made ever, and you will just seek out of all music that exists, what do I want to listen to out of all fashion that has ever existed.
Yeah, and there's so much you could do. You could do it your entire life without repeating anything.
So, but it also means that there's no consistent trends with the average person in terms of fashion, because like they have all of possible fashion basically available to them to see and to take inspiration from, and so everyone is just doing their own thing, but it ends up sort of homogenizing because it's there's not this consistent like, okay, we're seeing this, everyone's seeing the same thing at the same time on television because everyone watches television and everyone sees the same things at the same time and gets the same inspirations from the same place, and so you can see this consistent trends as it changes, you know.
But turtleneck keyhole sweaters are forever.
True.
Indeed.
All right, let's go.
What really kind of got my start, anime was the sort of gateway, but Sakura really were one of the ways where I was like, maybe it's okay. And it's really interesting.
That's pretty fucking
like,
gay,
one of the
bro.
first things that kind of got me
you like flowers, so fucking what?
Okay, was, and I don't even know if this is true or not, but the symbolism with Sakura and samurai, for example. One of the things that make Sakura so symbolic in Japan,
you can call them cherry blossoms
for samurai, is that when Sakura bloom, they only last for like
you fucking
a week,
weeb,
if even, and then they just immediately fall away. And I'm gonna be putting up a ton of pictures up here. Sakura in bulk, going out to things like Hanami and stuff, are absolutely exquisite, absolutely gorgeous. There's I hate to sound like a weeb, but there's not too many experiences quite like it. There's just something about it that's really spectacular.
Way too late.
You're sounding
they don't last very long.
Wait, what experience is that? I don't understand.
Well,
looking
I
at
don't fucking
fucking leaves.
Yeah, what happens?
Goomba, did you know that?
Every year.
Are you familiar with the trope of the old man who really caters to his rose bushes?
Sorry.
What's the fucking difference to the old man who caters to his rose bushes? And roses are horrible to cater to.
Yeah, so anyway, what he was trying to say
they're shitty flowers.
Was that the cherry blossoms bloom only once a year for a very short time. So like a 2-week window that you can go and view the public public parks. Like this happened in High Park here in Toronto, because we were gifted about, I think, 12 or 24 cherry blossoms from Japan like 30 years ago. And because of COVID, you can't go in groups to see them, and so that was a huge deal. So they had a virtual view for everyone who couldn't make it, because obviously you can't go in all together. So it's more of Yeah, it's more of like, hey, this is a really rare thing. The same with, plum blossoms and other sorts of trees. They only bloom for a certain part of the year. The thing is, they just look nice. Like there's nothing. Some of them don't even get any fruit from them. So if you want your backyard to look nice 1 week or 2 weeks of the year, sure.
It's like just going into nature, going to a park, and there's this tiny time window where it looks special, where it looks different. And when all the blossoms come down, it's like snow falling, colorful snow.
Yeah, the same with the burning bush.
Here in the botanical garden here in my town, they have some of these lotus flowers that bloom only once every 7 years. And it's underwater all the time, and then only then it comes up, and all day it sits there, and then there's a time window of like I think 2 hours or something where it actually opens. And that tiny glass house was crammed full with people of all sexes, of all ages. Everybody wanted to see this one shitty flower. I too wanted to see this shitty flower to do the fucking thing. And I think I don't remember whether it's that actual kind because I couldn't make the actual because this fucking thing took forever. Okay, so like, no, I'm waiting here until you're all gone. Fuck you. I can't open while you're looking.
So like, that is a kind traditional. That's a cultural traditional thing, and all you have to do is look to your city, that your metropolis or a big city that you're not from. Maybe you want to check it out one day. There are festivals. At least 2 years ago, there were festivals virtually every week. And all you got to do is just walk around, check them out, have a great time, see what it's like. It could be food, it could be music, who knows. In this case, this is a very specific festival that he likes, which is great. But there's probably
that's cool,
hundreds a month in Tokyo or Osaka or any other major city that will blow you away, like whiskey festivals or bread festivals or rice festivals or anything that they got.
Festivals. Penis Fest.
There is one of those, yes.
Yeah,
I think you find them under the rainbow flags.
Right. So what I'm saying is,
festivals.
This is just one thing out of the multitude of festivals.
Not in a gay way, though.
No, really.
Not in a gay way.
Wait, you just look at penises? That's
you become the penis.
Yeah, homo.
You embrace the penis.
That's it.
You go on a
Can
date
you touch
with
it?
the penis.
You know, the thing the pollen gets onto is basically the penis of the flower.
Oh my god.
You summon the penis in attack position.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you bring families along to this event? I can't imagine so. That would be weird.
My penis
it's the whole
damage to your life.
The whole flower thing is basically just plants advertising that they want to have sex.
I activate my penis's special effect. To summon
plants,
two more.
We adore plants.
All you need is an ear event, and Smud will go crazy, right?
I
activate the spell card.
Yeah.
Massive ejaculation.
I then play my Blue Chew ×2 card, which enables higher erections than before. Yes.
Oh my god. That sounds painful.
Okay.
Yeah, what's an erection?
I activate polymerization. To summon Giga Penis Man.
What's an erection?
Gay, bro.
Get ready for the money shot.
One money shot.
Giga Penis Man causes piercing damage when he attacks.
What's the money shot? The big black dick?
What were we talking about? What?
Anyway.
I think they're taking this a little too far now.
I think we're going
It's going a little longer than it needs to.
Let us listen to Goomba.
This is gonna be fun in the fucking stream memes.
Can't wait
to see the stream.
So we are giving free meme material. Please capitalize.
All right, let's go.
BBC.
And the notion of them not lasting very long.
It's just Gundramon, but all the guns are penises.
Was really important to the
moving
samurai
on.
because the samurai never knew when they were going to die. I mean, really think about that. Think of that kind of weight that you're going to have to carry around and your family would have to carry around, knowing that you have no idea when you're going to die. That's a masculine thing. When you think of militaristic self-sacrifice, that is a very masculine theme.
How dare you?
Probably a little
what are you saying?
But
Whoa.
Whoa.
What?
Here we go.
Oh God!
Is he saying suicide is manly?
They brainwashed you, Goomba. They brainwashed you, man.
Is he saying suicide is masculine? Is that what he's trying to say?
I fucking hope not.
No, military
Like, dude,
self-sacrifice.
just kill yourself,
Well,
man. You
I
want to be a real
wanna
man?
get that
But you're
thing.
gonna
Kill
have to
yourself,
carry
bro.
around, and your family would have to carry around.
No,
knowing
no,
that
let's
you
not
have no idea when you're
KYS
gonna
this
die.
shit.
That's a manly, masculine thing. When you think of militaristic self-sacrifice, that is a very masculine theme. I'll bet probably a little toxic.
So what
Wait,
is that?
whoa,
Toxic by way of
whoa.
thinking only men can fight and sacrifice for their own. Well, who said that?
Who the
Goomba
hell?
fucking said that.
Who
How's
the
it
hell
toxic?
is
Wait,
that
Who
ever?
got
Nobody says
into your?
ever.
Okay, Goomba. Who put his penis into your brain?
the counselor.
Because it's all hooked up with nonsense.
I'm
I
hoping.
can't even.
But the counselor sounded sane.
I'm hoping he's not
That he described.
referencing Yukio Mishima, who's the last known person who committed seppuku for private, personal, and public reasons. But he made his statement known, which was a
I think it
male.
was MatPat.
Sorry,
I think like MatPat put his thing in it.
he talked about Yukio Mishima.
Matt Pat?
Oh, sorry.
I talked about you.
I was
God.
That Pat made him up. Yeah, sure.
What does my cat have to do with this shit?
So
Okay.
apparently, being a soldier
But
or
that's
wanting to
just
join the
a theory.
military
A seppuku's theory.
makes you toxic. Okay, thank you.
Toxic male.
No,
Yeah,
but
for your
I'm
liberty,
thinking that
okay.
only men can fight and sacrifice for their own. What the fuck? Goomba, who came up with this shit? Who told you that? Who told you to think that? The Japanese certainly didn't think that. Do you know how many stories there are of women taking up arms and fighting, and you can sacrifice for your home in many different ways than taking up a blade? No, Goomba, of all the people, you should know why the naginata, the Japanese pole arm, the Japanese. Could you describe it as a lance?
It's more like a
halberd.
halberd, right?
Spare.
Like
It's
the
a spare.
Japanese.
It's a long spare. You can.
It's got
Halberd
a
needs
cutting
some additional
edge.
props to it, but
Well, it
yeah,
has
it's
a
a
cutting
spare.
edge, right? It's a spear, but it's like
I
it
was
has
just
a
lost on
cutting
the.
edge.
I was just lost on the English. Yeah. Why the naginata is traditionally associated to be a female weapon? Goomba, do you know that? Because it was forbidden to women to use swords, because that is a weapon that was only allowed to be wielded by
It's
samurai.
kind of like the Aiel.
And-
Kind of like the maidens
there
of the
was-
spear.
And at some point, I would need to look up the details at this point. There was a what's Aufstand? An insurrection, if you will, of women farmers against their lord. And since they were not allowed to use swords, they used the next best thing that was in the house. Because, well, all the families kept their weapons in the house. And that was the naginata. So they trained with the naginata, did the insurrection, and I don't remember whether they won or were all massacred. But after that, women trained a lot with the naginata because there was none forbidden.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been one to think that the naginata is a much more dangerous weapon in the right hands.
Well, it's definitely longer.
Well, it's essentially a sword at the end of a stick, becomes a spear. So
Yeah, long stick beats short stick, usually. Thing is simply, women fought and sacrificed for their homes. That's why we have the naginata associated with women. Goomba, you of all people should know that. You are so fucked up in the head. I don't even know where to start anymore. Like you and I think you fucked yourself up. You never got over your insecurities. Like, do you have mental blocks? I asked this before because you don't seem to. Those are really hard to get through. Like when they keep you from doing the stuff you actually enjoy. Yeah, that would be bad. That's what you would need therapy for. And there are techniques on how to get rid of those blocks. But if it's just you fucking up yourself, then just fucking sit down, meditate some, and you can erode that on your own. No fucking problem. But what you're doing here is just bullshit.
Just jerk off.
Buying into propaganda.
Yeah, right now America's feeling.
Fuck off. That's communist brainwashing words.
America's feeling what happened to their military in the past month, and it's not the nicest thing in the world. And a lot of people are very, very proud of being in the military. I don't think they'd be considered bad or toxic for joining the military and wanting to go there, even without the jurisdiction of the U.S. military, just to help people. Because apparently the U.S. is incapable of doing that right now. So a lot of people would love to go over there by themselves and get people out of Afghanistan. And that's not toxic. That's not sad. That's not bad. That's just what they were trained to do, and they're ready to go, and they're not going to do it.
Yeah, his only definition of toxic is that the assumption that it's only men who can do that.
These are reserves.
Or to think that only men can.
These
do
are men
that.
and women. Everyone wants to go there.
Yes.
Anyway, that was a totally off
I
topic.
guess trans soldiers would also be toxic as well.
Anyway,
But yeah.
But it's an honorable, valorous thing, and it's connected to something that is pink. That kind of blew my mind when I was growing up and getting more and more.
How?
This is the dumbest fucking train of fucking thought.
You have Nichi, which are sumo wrestlers. The technical name for sumo
Jesus
wrestlers.
Christ.
A lot of people consider them to be more modern samurai, not only because of how they keep their hair, but also their attitude and their ring and their attitude on life. And I remember there was this one Nichi who was like this absolute progeny, and in order to go from where they were to Yokozuna, one of the things that
Why don't you say he?
Word is prodigy.
which is
Why do you use plural pronouns for a single person that you know the sex of?
When they wrestle, he wanted it to be pink to represent Sakura. And I want you to understand.
So what's the
that
problem?
in
The other guy
Japanese
wears a purple
context,
one.
This is very much similar to a football team primarily having the color pink for their uniform.
That is actual
so
pink.
Again, this color of pink, this idea of pink, which over
The
here
idea of pink,
has
okay.
been, especially back in the 90s, was uniformly only a woman's color, was now seen as something that was exceptionally
No, it was just
manly.
since a couple decades, really.
That just
I've seen football players practice in pink before. I don't see that as a problem. Like, that's happened lots of times. They don't wear their
Yes.
actual outfits. They wear the practice gear, and it's pink for whatever reason.
Yeah, you know, when you have sponsors and you have to take on those colors, we have German Telekom is their company color is magenta, which is usually mistaken as pink because it's fucking pink. It's like a neon pink in on that kind of fabric. Kind of depends. There are, like, for every color there are slightly different variations of them. Anyway, it's more of a European thing, but this whole Tour de France thing, cycling around France, everyone who was sponsored by Team Telecom, wore that color. Doesn't fucking matter. It's about the fucking company.
Also, the WWE, the New Day, it's like they flaunting around in aqua and pink like it's no one's business, and they don't give a fuck what people say.
Yeah, didn't John Cena wear purple?
Yeah, and even he didn't give a fuck what people said. He just wore it because he just felt like it. Who the hell cares? But the New Day especially is the much greater example of why this argument does not work at all.
Man, Goomba, you are so behind the times. Like, you are the one stuck in the 80s and 90s. And not the good parts of them.
We can definitely reference babies' clothing being, blue for boys and pink for girls in general, but that's just
no, that's not even an active tradition. That's not even an active tradition. It's just a passive thing of, yeah, we have these clothes around, and we used them last year, so we use them again.
So what do we do then? Do we just make it all white so that way?
It's not hard rituals.
Well, I know neighbors of mine who have, when they make blankets or whatever, they just make whatever they want. They don't care about the color per se. So they just want to make a nice fluffy blanket, so they get like green or yellow or any soft color, and they just make it, and that's it. So unless it's like a tradition within the family or the mother asks for something specific, other than that, no, they don't care.
Yeah.
Open kinds of things when it comes to stuff that's pink. I can actually
Like the
enjoy
penis
the color
festival.
pink and not feel bad for it. And speaking of not feeling bad about
Good.
enjoying certain
Great,
things, let's talk about alcohol
achievement.
for a hot second here. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh.
I hate Western
Oh,
alcohol.
fuck.
I hate Western alcohol. I think it tastes awful. I don't find it enjoyable at all.
Okay, you're
Okay,
just
this
being a
man
weeb
is.
now.
Okay, you,
You've been drinking
you
that.
certainly haven't tried everything.
Oh my
Every
god.
fucking weeb right here.
Okay.
This is the
Yeah, I was
most
waiting for
weeb
this
thing
part,
I've ever.
yeah.
This is one thing to say I don't like American beer or weak American beer or
No, it's
American
not beer.
whiskey.
he said
Or, like,
alcohol.
all of
in
it.
general.
Okay, I don't like
Western
Western
alcohol.
alcohol.
That includes like French
And
wine.
that
includes,
means
like, French wine.
that means vodka, ouzo, whiskey, and all its subtypes, wine, beer, and its million variants, absinthe. If we go deeper into the anise section, it's like, whoa, dude, do you know amaretto? Then this coconut stuff I'm drinking here that I just can't stop because it's coconut. Like rum, the million times less. You know, there's shitty qualities of all these things. And then there's the good stuff that usually costs a bit more. Like everything. You can get your fast food crap from McDonald's, or you can make a steak yourself and figure out how to do that
I think
properly.
like this guy just drank like Corona Extra and then like, he was like, "Yeah, I hate Western alcohol."
You know what? I just
Yeah.
had
What a fucking genius!
I just had some sake for my birthday like last week, okay? Sake and most Japanese spirits have a very poor shelf life. They're not very flavorsome. They're strong depending on, how it's made. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's room temperature. It's nothing to write home about. And obviously I didn't have the best kind. I didn't have a cheap kind either. This was pretty decent stuff. It is a very subtle palate. It's not bad, but it's nothing to write home about. And he just said, if he's probably going to say, I love Japanese sake or Japanese whiskey or whatever, that's going to floor me. Because Japanese whiskey is very much like Scotch. Okay? It's strong shit. It came from Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they made the damn shit. And we're going to do our own version. That's where you get all these Suntory and various other Nika distillers.
Yeah, it's just a process of how to make a certain drink.
It's the same technique, only slightly different for the Japanese palate. And then there's the actual hard stuff that is very similar.
Yeah, and then it always depends on your harvest. It depends on whatever other ingredients you require for the process. Like for beer, it takes it makes tons of difference what kinds, what amounts, and if you mix up different types of hops you throw in there, it becomes a completely different thing.
Now, my knowledge
it's probably similar to that. And what barrel do you use for the whiskey?
Right, and we're talking about Japanese beer, for example. There's only a few that we get in the rest of the world. I'm sure they have dozens, if not hundreds, of brands in Japan that they don't export. But I can't really say much about Asahi or Sapporo or the other one I actually like. I can't remember the name of. But that's it. Everything else is their whiskey, which is pretty good, but it's a very subtle flavor. So he's got to really sell me on his knowledge of Japanese whatever.
Yeah, he just sounds like
I don't think
he
you will.
in his being
Trust me, it's not
detested by his own childhood. He adopted something akin to Japanese nationalism.
Well, okay,
Everything Japan is
Just
good.
a weeb.
Yeah, everything Japan is good. Everything Western is bad.
maybe I don't know. My brother's a big Japanophile. I always say this when I bring him up, and he knows when things he likes from Japan are good or not good, and he tells me because they're expensive or they're cheap or whatever. But there's stuff he won't buy because he's tried it. He goes, "This is shit. This is for people who don't have any taste." But to say that is like dismissing everything in Western or European culture for thousands of years, like the Trappist monks who made amazing Belgian ales, or Scottish ales, or cream ales, or Pilsners, or God knows every other flavor out there under the sun. This guy just goes, no, it's all crap. I don't like it. All right. That's your taste. Fine.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not big into alcohol, but fucking hell, I at least tried various things. And man, the day, because I was a very picky eating child, which is common for autists, when I moved out, I tried to increase my palate because I didn't even know what to fucking buy. I didn't know how to cook and anything. I developed all of that after I moved out, and the great thing is when I stumbled upon that Indian proverb that said the key to immortality is to every day eat a new meal, like to have a new flavor, because that is an experience, and your life is made up of all the different experiences. Like whenever every day is the same, then your brain just mushes it all together into one day. Essentially, that's when the years fly by.
Oh, I just
fulfilled life is every day a new experience, and that is why I forced myself, despite being such a picky eater, to every time I went to a restaurant or a takeaway place or to when I bought stuff, to buy something I haven't yet eaten before. It might be something I will barf up again, but there might be something new that I'd really like. And the same I did with alcohol. With alcoholic beverages. There are things that I will never touch again, ever, in my life, unless maybe you pay me a few $1,000,000. But there are some other things that I say, this is really great taste. But I can't drink myself into oblivion with it because it costs too fucking much.
Yeah. Anyway, the beer was called Hitachino Nest. They have multiple flavors. We only get a few here in Ontario at least. I don't know how it is in the rest of North America. That was impressive beer. So, nowhere near the level of the beer in Belgium or Germany or Austria or Czech. Nowhere near that level, but it's pretty good for what came out of Japan. So, anyway. Let's hear his defense of Japanese beer or whatever. Maybe he hates Japanese alcohol too. I don't know. It's a weird thing to say.
And if you don't drink it, apparently you're one of these. I don't even want to say it because
you
I
have
don't
shitty
even
friends,
want
man.
Well, yeah, you
have a pussy right now.
You have all these people.
Fucking God,
Just
why are you
say-
such a fucking faggot,
Just
dude?
say,
Holy shit.
I don't like alcohol. That's all you have to say.
Yeah, it's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Fucking
You know,
God.
it's the thing.
You
Goomba,
can't even
something you
say
don't
the
understand
fucking
about
word.
alcohol.
Like, well, holy shit, dude. It's not even that bad, dude. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I don't like alcohol. I don't drink. I'm
Fucking
probably
Christ.
the non-drinker.
Yeah, I don't really
here.
drink either.
I
But
don't like
it's
the
like,
alcohol
holy
of the
shit.
colonists.
Buddy
The
that
fact
doesn't
that you
drink.
can't even say pussy.
Okay. There's two things,
Fucking
Goomba. That is one.
Pussy.
You don't know that alcohol is a carrier and intensifier of taste, just like sugar, just like fat. The problem is you had one is you had shitty alcohol. Two, you had shitty friends. If they even were friends. Because good friends don't shit on you for not drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Get some real friends, man.
But I don't understand why he's so fucking. Oh my God. Oh, I can't say.
Have
Like,
you tried? Have
there
you?
are Christians who aren't even that bad about like taking the Lord's name in vain as he is about saying. But you know why? Because he fucking worships pussy. That's why. That's
Man,
why he
the-
doesn't want to
the
say it.
variance
Because
in-
his pussy
in
is
mead
fucking
alone.
God.
Well-
And that's why he's so like no. It would be blasphemy. It would be blasphemy to say it. You know, he would go to feminist hell
I-
if he said pussy.
It is this.
I have never
that-
heard.
like-
You like Goomba. You probably like sweet stuff.
Oh, well-
Try mead, but not the cheap stuff because that will bite your tongue.
Well,
That's shit.
that-
Try to get hold of some fir meat from
Well-
fir trees, and it will be the smoothest thing you've ever had.
That
It's
is-
just like you don't need. You just need to sip it, and it will taste amazing.
That is basically wine, I think, to him. But
It's honey wine.
yeah, when we're talking about like things that are manly, like what's next? Like hot sauce? You can't. Oh, you're a pussy. You can't have hot. Maybe you just don't like hot sauce. Like what's wrong with? Like what's
What about
next?
smoking? Is that if you don't smoke, you're a fucking pussy, I guess.
Yeah, smoking. Yeah, you don't smoke. You're not a man. It's like what? Like, no one says
to
this.
quote the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin, you're putting the pussy on a pedestal, dude. You know, you're putting the
Exactly.
pussy on a pedestal.
Like what's next? You don't drive a
that they said
fast
that.
car. Like you're not a real man. It's like no one cares. Like what are you talking about?
Men don't care. What? Like when we become adults, we just don't care as much. We just want to do whatever the hell makes us happy.
If
Like,
that's
what-
driving sports cars, more power to you. Exactly.
Driving cars, fixing cars, going to work, making money, going to the gym, working out, cooking something at home.
I really want hot sauce now.
and
I
beer.
know, I do too.
Man, this is so
Hot
sad.
sauce and beer.
I want some,
I
like,
want-
I had
I
no
want
idea
all
Goomba
the
was such a
manly
broken,
things
all at
my
once.
sinuses.
broken man
What's wrong?
inside.
Just a shot of fucking whatever alcohol, and then followed by a shot of fucking Da Bomb or some shit.
Hot sauce, beer, alcohol, motor oil. What else is the most manly thing we could think of?
Blind, like it's like shot glasses, but
Shaving
it's like
cream.
blind,
The blood of
and
a
you
virgin?
don't
I
know
don't
which one
know.
is which. So
So
you
thing
don't
that-
know whether it's going to be like alcohol or hot sauce, but you just have to down it anyway. That'll be pretty
Dude,
fun.
you got like if you go to the bathroom, you gotta use sandpaper to wipe yourself. All right, that's real, man.
But
you
what-
gotta
what
just,
Don't do your pussy.
bro. You just gotta reach in with your hand and just fucking just raw, just like wipe it with your hand. No fucking
Just
toilet
wipe it with
paper.
it.
With your thumb, dude. You gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
the thing is here. The thing is that
Look, dude,
interesting
if you don't
here
ram
with,
your
with
thumb up your
Goomba
ass, you're fucking gay. Dude.
is
Just
What are you,
know,
pussy?
you're fucking gay. Well, what are you? You won't even stick your thumb up your ass with no toilet paper. What are you, fucking gay? What a pussy.
Why would you do that at all?
You live in a
Dude,
house
that's
full of
the
fucking
manly way
pussy,
to do
dude.
it. I don't make the
Real
fucking
men are
rules. What are you,
homeless.
fucking
All
pussy?
right, you live in
No,
your
that's-
car.
That's not manly.
Fucking pussy.
Just go outside and dig a hole.
Yeah, dig a fucking hole, you pussy.
Go to your neighbor's front lawn and just rip one
Okay, that's
Then you need to run into the library and just take off all of your clothes and just shit everywhere.
No, you gotta be nice.
I am mad.
no, not the library.
If you don't do that, then I mean, are you even alive? You know? You haven't lived.
Skydiving without a parachute, you fucking pussy.
I would simply not
Let's stop.
die. I would simply survive. I'm just built.
Yeah,
Okay, stop.
Just
don't
Let's
die.
move on.
All right.
all right.
Oh boy.
The thing that just interests me with Goomba here is he's always been in all his old stuff. He's been super energetic, really passionate about the topics he talks about. It was kind of wholesome to watch. That was like giving you some energy back because he was enjoying everything so much. And now we see this under that is this broken man that was broken since childhood. Are you telling me this was all just escapism? And now somebody, Goomba, somebody has peeled that nice layer off, and now you're just left with the broken man. You yourself are just left with that. Someone stole that energy and enjoyment from you. What the fuck?
All right. Anyway, I want to.
At that
Are
point,
those your new SJW friends? Because that, wherever that comes from, that is the real toxicity.
I want to get to him when he talks about Japanese anything, just because it's like it's better in the East. So,
Yeah.
okay.
that's-
All right.
okay.
You can also keep talking about putting your thumb in your ass.
No.
Yes.
Like, oh,
No.
gotta get used to it. No! Have it be good now! And I'll tell you what, the things that I personally found good now were things like sake, shochu, yuzu.
No kidding.
Yeah, because you're a fucking weeb.
Personally, whenever I would go to Side 6, and I've talked about
Can
Side
we
6 a lot on
stop
this channel,
with the
every time I
Japanese,
went there, I would get
death
what was called
drinks?
a raspberry ginger. And I could either have it alcoholic or non-alcoholic, and sometimes I would get it alcoholic.
He just likes it because
And
it's
I
Japanese.
loved drinking in Japan because nobody gives you guff about anything. You could go in there and you could order a freaking wine cooler as a grown man.
Look, they
and no
don't
one's-
say anything.
Wait, but
they don't
you can
say
do that
anything.
now in
You
America.
don't even
The
know
fuck?
these people. You don't even know Of course, they're not going to say anything. They probably are fucking judging. I bet they are.
The restaurant owner is like, look at the gay guy.
They judge you in silence.
What,
dude.
this
Come on.
white man, he comes into our country and drinks all beer.
Goomba, you
It's
should
like-
know Japanese culture. They're
With
just
his
too
wine
polite to
cooler.
show it to you. Because
Trust
one,
me, they're
you're
gonna
the
think, why
fucking
is he so
guest, you're the
fat?
fucking customer. And second, you're the fucking gaijin. You can do whatever you want. They will always think you're an idiot.
Yeah, they're internally they're just like this fucking gaijin ordering this fucking gay ass fucking drink.
It's like
Typical fucking gaijin.
What do you drink?
But they keep up the professional face.
It's like
There are places in the West where you can go and you can order fucking anything. Like there was a nice metal bar here. Sadly, it didn't run well enough, and you could just order whatever. You weren't judged for that because the metal scene is actually pretty lax and all of that. It's because it's about all the individualism. That's what metal is about. Although it's not portrayed as that by the outside, especially by the SJWs, because they fail to get into the metal scene, because the metal scene rejects them, because the metal scene understands what's up with these assholes, these dogmatic cult thinkers. Point being, you can order fucking anything, and you won't be judged for it. You may even get some advice if you like this. Maybe this is something for you.
Yeah, so there's lots of drinks that you could order that you think are feminine or, not typically masculine. Like, I want a scotch. No, I've had, pink squirrel before. You think that sounds like a girl's drink. It's like, well, it could be. I love it. It's fantastic. It's basically almond cream liqueur with creme de cacao and cream or ice cream, or depending on who serves it a certain way. That's it. It's fantastic. It's lovely. Manhattans are great. Cosmopolitans are great. Grasshoppers are delicious. There's something for every. It doesn't matter what color it is. It doesn't matter how much sugar is in it. That's what you like.
Every time I got to that
care.
metal bar, first drink I ordered every time was a White Russian. Then my lactose intolerance got too bad.
Ooh.
That's not a good combination.
I know, but I fucking love that drink, so I kept ordering it anyway.
Oh.
I knew I'm gonna have a fucking headache, and my intestines are gonna complain, but I don't fucking care.
You're gonna dump the monster loaf.
Yeah, and you know what I did with the pain? I danced it off.
Like a man.
Yeah, I baked it off. What do you think I have this long hair for?
There you go.
Be a girl?
You're gonna whip it back and forth.
Oh, fuck off.
All right. Here's
Goomba, if you don't want to be judged for what you like, listen to some metal.
I listened to that song. And
Because
I got called
if
gay.
you want to sit around with a bunch of guys half drunk at a tent around a fire with a barbecue on the side where whatever is grilling, and the guys are talking about what shampoo they use for their long hair, that's metal.
all right.
That's fucking metal. That's manly.
Here's Tyler Preston for a $5 in the super chats. In Saint Seiya, that's an anime I know, the character Shun wears pink armor and he's a badass. Well, yes, this is true.
Yeah, but he's gay, so.
He's a girl now, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's still female empowerment at the end of the day.
Well, he's got green hair and
Toxic male.
it matches his armor, his pauldrons.
And
Green
thank
hair.
you, Netflix
That's-
adaptation.
and he's
for
an
making Shun into a
environmentalist.
chick. That's
Really?
what I wanted. Yeah, for real.
They're all young kids. I don't know what the hell I can't remember that story very much.
No tuna? No?
Anyway. 14 and a half minutes. We're not really done.
Can we finish this?
I don't think so. We'll go for another 5. So we'll go for another 2. That's probably as much as we can do.
gonna give you guff about it. No one cares. Because they just want you to enjoy what you want to drink. Here, I have so many stories about
customer
trying
service.
to deal with people who are like, oh, well, you have to drink this certain kind of alcohol. Like,
No.
or it's just unacceptable.
No.
No, they don't.
I hate,
Bullshit.
Where are you
hate
going?
that we have this mentality that things like wine coolers or like a hard cider or something like that with a low proof. I hate the fact that this is all equated to being not only feminine but also weak, because let's separate those two things, because that shouldn't even be a thing either.
Let's not.
Okay, no.
Hold on. I can't
Ah! You fucking retarded. You're retarded. Goomba, you're retarded. Women can't take as much alcohol as men. That has to do with fat. That has to do with how their blood works. That has to do with how their livers work.
Especially if they got a baby.
With how their metabolism works. This is aside from the baby thing. Women can't take as much alcohol as men. Period. That's just the thing. That's why I can.
Have you ever seen a drunk girl?
And it hasn't anything to do with the hormones either, because I can still drink the poles under the table.
That's the only way you should see girls.
Drunk.
Man, Goomba, you don't know anything.
I'm wasted.
Wow.
How else do you think I know about pink squirrels?
There you
Are
go.
they invisible pink squirrels? Are they
What?
there right now with you?
Oh, they were very, very real, believe me.
Are they?
squeeze
Can
it?
you see them right now?
Say to you?
What are the squirrels
thank
doing?
you.
Need to get the fucking
Surrounds us
Ouija
and
board.
penetrates us.
Oh God.
Anyway,
Let's continue this nonsense.
My own
let's
palate
just
when
try
it
to
came
finish
to
this.
alcohol, because it wasn't just, oh, you got to drink vodka or whiskey or rum or whatever, and it's like, I hate all this. Do I just hate alcohol? No, I hated the fact that I was put under pressure to enjoy specific kinds of alcohol, because if I
Go
didn't,
to a
I
different
wasn't a
bar.
man.
okay, wait. So now he's telling us that he
Who
was
the
classically
fuck are you hanging
conditioned.
out with?
Well, this
Go to a different bar.
yeah, this is weird. I've been to America a few times. They love you. They love your money. Hey, you want to give us money? Give us your money. Here's a beer. I love you. Here's 2 beers.
Exactly. No guy gives a shit because we're there just to get drunk and forget our problems or just have a good time.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Goomba, I don't want to gaslight you, but are you making this up?
Well, what it sounds like is when he was
He has-
younger, he was classically
It
conditioned
sounds like
to
he got this from movies or something.
Well, he's
Yeah,
associating
he has to.
drinking anything.
that here.
Anything made in America is bad because people, when he was growing up, said this is going to make you a man. I don't like it. And, I don't like it. He got scared.
Yeah. When you go to a bar and you want a thing, the barman will give it to you because that's how he makes money.
Yeah, and when he went to
So he makes
Japan,
more money by pleasing you that you want to come back.
so as a tourist in Japan, of course, any person from another country is going to like you because you're a tourist. You want to spend money. Here's what we make in Japan. Try. Oh, I like it all. It's so nice. It's this and that. You're like, oh yeah. And he keeps going and he keeps going, and it's all this Japanese stuff is making me happy.
Yeah.
Not because it's a particularly quality product, although I'm sure some are. It's because they're being nice to him.
Yeah, and Goomba, the whole joke is, the whole irony is that your socialist friends are probably telling you that we are the toxic ones. When in reality, if I was going out with you or drinking with some other friends, well, it doesn't matter. You order something that you like that I haven't seen before. I might even ask you, can I get a of that to try?
That was amazing.
Okay, I thought that was me.
So angry that he broke his mic.
You were kept cutting in and out.
It's which internet again is trying to stop them.
That was
Yeah,
amazing.
someone
What
translated
happened?
a robot.
You
What?
turned into a ranting robot, man. That was incredible.
Okay. Is it back to normal?
I think it's better
Is it
not.
back to normal?
That was the
So
most
what I
German
was-
you've ever sounded. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. In the hopes that it's back to normal. What I was trying to say, and I'll say it without the ranting anger. Goomba,
Okay.
if
No,
we
it's funny with that.
so your socialist friends are probably telling you that we are the toxic people. However, the irony is, the big joke is that if we went out on a drink and you were ordering whatever you liked, I'd probably ask you, and when it's something that I don't know yet, hey, can I take a sip from that and try? Because I like new tastes. And you'd get that with most of my friends. That you would consider, or that your social justice friends would consider toxic people. With us, you'd get the experience you'd want. Like, just be accepted the way you are. Drink whatever you want. And maybe even someone would be interested in, hey, I don't know that. Can I try that? And then you could share experience and then think that, oh, I know something that's similar to this. Maybe I have it here. And so on and so on. You know, probably the kind of thing you want to experience. So you have shitty friends and you go to shitty bars.
This is very strange.
I have this thing, I'm not a drinker, but I've been to bars where they just don't care what you drink. It's like, do you want it? This is the price. Thank you very much.
Every bar does. I've never seen a bar.
You can always ask for a recommendation.
I've never seen a bar that says no unless they've been counting how many drinks you have. That's it. Everything else
is that the problem? He just doesn't like good recommendations.
I don't know.
What would you recommend? This or that.
It was like only one time when I was.
I agree with what someone's saying in the chat there, which is basically that I think a lot of this is just good-natured sort of basically like hazing that he's taking way too seriously. That they don't actually care that much. They're just busting his balls a little. They're just
All right, guys. We're actually roboting here. If you want to get your last comment in there, Mark, I'm going to jump to stream memes because I think we're just losing connection. We've been going on for about 3 hours and a half.
I think we should get the new
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Holy shit! Really?
Man, it's just getting better.
It's just getting better. This video,
it's
really.
Just getting better. It's just man, there's always something new coming. That's just, dude, you're just hanging out with shitty people.
Here we go.
I feel really sorry for you.
All right, here's stream memes time.
I think Dollface is right. I mean, this is probably just a bunch of hazing that he's just taking way too seriously and too hard.
Maybe.
Honestly.
Yeah. All right. Casual anime fans, can you stop sucking Japan's cock? Casual anime fans, weeboos for 5 minutes. Wisp Charm School. All right, girlies, today we're going to learn how to walk like a lady. All right.
Aww.
Is that...
This is cute.
That's Baton. There you go. It's Baton. Of course it's Baton.
See, we like cute shit, all right? Oh my god! No.
This
Boy,
is
they call me fat.
wow. Are you kidding? Holy!
What the?
That is this funniest looking bowling alley I've ever seen.
That is a German Kegelbahn.
Oh my god.
That's how they did it centuries
I kinda wanna try it out.
before your stupid country was founded.
You're gonna mess up your walls so quickly. All that drywood is just gonna be kindling.
No, dude, these things are around for hundreds of years.
That's a bowling ball. You're throwing it at the wall.
That's not a bowling ball. That's a smaller wooden thing.
That will smash.
You don't even put your thumbs into it because that would make it uneven. It's a completely even ball.
Does it weigh 5 kilograms?
No.
1 kilogram.
Probably.
That's still going to do some damage.
Yeah, but it's supposed to go to the wall. It's like, look, there's even cabinets on the side. It's supposed to go to the end of the line.
Okay, I'm just saying, people are going to miss, and bad things will happen. It's just,
this is an old woman, and she's managing it.
That's more reasons that
you gotta be a man, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Look, we even have these little helper ropes ball goes under the rope, not into the ceiling. Like maybe you should put up some ropes at your bowling alleys.
Launch into the ceiling.
Looks like Limbo.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, and then you have and behind her there's some seats where you can sit down and get some beer, get some
that's
She plows your feet in the ground
and get clocked in the face.
I don't mean to misjudge. I thought it was Sam Hyde or something.
You're worse than I was as a child, and I didn't like this.
After 2 white Russians, this girl's gonna kill
I
you.
didn't like this game, but I was apparently better at it than you.
She's gonna put you in the hospital after she launches a bomb.
No, this is old people love to play this.
Oh, all right.
It's an old people sport.
Okay, I want to read this series. Where do I start? Comics. You can start at Batman #1 from 2011, not to be confused with Batman #1 from 1940, Batman #1 from 2016, or Batman Year 1, manga, Chapter 1, bro.
Yeah, except you have these weird franchises that have like 50 spin-offs, of which some have become mainline
Meanwhile-
series.
The fucking hit
Yeah.
series. I mean,
Oh.
Like, let's say Japan has this problem with video games. Like, imagine we want to get chronologically in some way. In order to end with Persona, we have to get through Shin Megami Tensei and some other things before that. That's weird.
Anyway,
It's very weird.
anytime Cav hears ridiculous on this. yeah.
I feel like there has to be a limit now.
Ridiculous.
Hey, that's
We only
kind of
say
cute.
it like
I like
10
that.
times.
Weeboo ass ground.
Fucking weeaboo ass ground. Kind of attractive.
I like it. Black coated. Black coated? Wow.
Holy
Asian
shit.
coated, gay coated?
Is that Hitler?
yes.
Dude, I didn't know he could bench press.
Anyway. Here it is.
It's
Here
vegan
is.
games.
What is this called again?
Gundramon.
Gundramon.
Gundramon, yeah.
Wow. I think those are enough revolvers.
You can never have enough revolvers, dude.
Just
Or if you could
constantly
beat
Real
Arthur.
American talk.
shooting and reloading. 6 shooters.
Yeah, but I got dead eyes.
This
so.
is.
They're magic guns. They reload automatically.
What is that again? What is that?
It's more Digimon stuff.
Oh yeah, Digimon.
Yeah,
Actually-
more Digimon, yeah.
Bell Starman.
Wow.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Kind
I'm just
of.
spamming Digimon in the stream memes now.
It kind of reminds me
Digimon.
of Persona a little bit. All the monsters, or the personas from Persona, rather. Here is also good old Deputymon.
It
Oh,
looks like the black
That's
mage
real.
from Final Fantasy.
Really?
Next as a cowboy.
That kind of reminds me of
you're right.
Oh, what's it called? Is it called Quick Draw Synchron or something from Yu-Gi-Oh?
Really? I thought because of the face
I
and the
don't
eyes, as Mark said, it was Vicky. What's his name?
Vivi, I
Vivi.
guess?
There we go. Vivi. Yeah. Just instead
Oh,
of a
yeah,
black mage,
Digimon Tamers, Beelzemon.
he's a cowboy. I don't know.
Can we go back to the video?
Now he is.
Kind of reminded me of this Yu-Gi-Oh card. In the
Wow, is that a dinosaur with guns? That's pretty wild. Or a lizard with guns. Beelzemon. And I like him, but he doesn't have a gun. Okay, all right. He has
Wow.
brass knuckles of some kind.
Them
Gurumon.
feet, dude.
Or Wergurumon.
Oh
I
boy,
think.
Tomboy Supremacy. Who is that?
That is Beelzebub from Helltaker.
Oh, hell.
That's a girl?
Yes. Can't you see the tits? And the
Look at
hips?
the tits.
No.
What are you talking about?
Dude.
Look at the fucking titatas. The fucking bazongas. The
No, I
bodonka
mean,
honkaroos.
I see the ass,
Right?
but
The
hips,
bodonka
yeah.
honkaroos, right?
It's
The
okay after
Bodonka
Gaijin
Donker.
The
Goomba
legs.
video. It's
The babonka
Yeah.
donka donka shonkadonks.
What is that? Are those boobs?
So anyway,
Anyway, welcome to Tomboy Outback Steakhouse. Here's your menu. If you ask me about the strip steak, I will break your spine. Ha,
Oh my god, that's a girl?
yeah. I like how her teeth are like sharks. There's sort of this weird.
doesn't work the second time.
Yeah.
why are you gay?
Oh.
I watch girly show. You are gay.
You are gay. Why are you gay?
Okay.
That's the therapist I expected him to have, but it said he had a sane one.
Oh, here's the video.
Maybe the counselor got insane. I don't know.
Here's the video of Faye Valentine with Daniela Pineda. And yeah, there you go. She looks like Faye now. Just a few color changes. Ba-boom. Done. That's it.
Wait, really?
That's it. That's all you gotta do. Give her a red little sarong jacket thing around her forearms and you're done. You got it. Little bits of fabric. That's all it takes. Okay. When you clean your room so good that the only trash left is you.
Oh.
Should have cleaned that first, frankly.
It's a good feeling when you clean your room. So.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
40% of the time you're making more dirt, more mess.
What if it's always clean?
No.
What do you do then?
That's
You're just never
impossible.
happy?
You'd be immortal. You never shed skin. You never shed hair. You just like a vampire. I don't know. I'm a filthy fucking weeb. Oh, I always hated this one.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's kind of
God.
too much. Here is Alley Cat. I'm not going to play that Gingaman, whatever that is. Oh, the Fairly Odd Parents? Okay, that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, the bad gag.
All right. Well, you guys can watch that on your own time. I don't want to play it for, obviously, copyright reasons. Watch it, punk. The last motherfucker to call me gay got his dick sucked by a skeleton with a gun. What is this from?
That's just, one of those things.
One of those things. Yeah.
It's just one of those things. It do be like that.
It looks like I don't know, like maybe a metal band cover or something. Mark and 40, what'd you give us? Big and happy in Japan.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
How Japan made me like my body. Goomba, you don't have a belly. You only need to work on your double chin.
This is
I don't know
how
how, but
we give up on health.
you look fine. You look fine. The rest of you looks fine, but it's still your double chin that's stuck. I don't know what to do about that.
All right. Jeez.
Well,
Here is
looks like
Cisco
looks
demolished.
like I know what we're going to put in next in suggestions.
Yes, I'm not going to play that, but. Oh, last one.
Is that from DS9?
This is Smudlore. I'll make you regret everything you've ever done. And this looks like some sort of.
Shut up, stupid bitch.
This is Helltaker.
Oh, it's Helltaker? Shut up,
Play
stupid bitch.
fucking Helltaker. You like cute stuff. Play fucking Helltaker. It's free.
Yeah, tell those ladies off. That's which.
Well, my time isn't free.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for sharing us your chilling and hot sauce stories.
Please come again.
Yeah,
I apologize because I'm the one who actually suggested this video.
it's not bad. It's just kind of like, oh, this guy.
It's sad. It's just I find it sad.
And
If only I was born in
it's kind
Japan.
of hilarious how you changed the title of the whole
Someone
video.
broke this man,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. I don't think it was his childhood and the stereotype shit. I think it's something else happened there.
Well, we might
And
cover.
now
He's
he's
just
got
venting.
more stupid ideas.
We might cover the rest tomorrow if we have time to jump into a second video. Depending, we might. I don't know if you want to cover this. I'll ask you guys tomorrow. We'll find out. But thank you anyway for tuning in for so long and having us on this wonderful journey of Japanophiles who just can't love anything else, like the entire world of alcohol except for when it's made in Japan. So
Welcome to nationalism.
The neighbor's dad called me fat. Now I'm going to become a weeb.
now I'm gonna just obsess over Japan, buy ninja stars, hang them on my wall.
What?
So he was called fat, so he went to Japan, and now he doesn't feel insecure about that. It's just amazing to me. I can't imagine that some random bystander called him names and all that, and he took it as a compliment because he didn't understand Japanese.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, what if you're called skinny? Do you just go to Mexico to feel better about yourself? I don't know.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much.
Go to the Central African Republic.
Have yourself
Ethiopia.
a great evening. We'll talk to you real soon. Good night.